Fish me.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here we are live once again
Yes,
on
sir.
the Rooted in Sports podcast. First of all, we want to, you know what I'm saying, thank everyone that's tuning in and that's going to tune in. Much love to everybody. And this is a special episode because tonight we got the NBA draft. So you'll catch us, you know what I'm saying, going ahead and covering the whole first round of tonight's NBA draft. Obviously, the Orlando Magic have the number one pick and they're on the clock now. And I want to introduce a couple guys. Got my boy Isaiah, who y'all have seen a million and one times on here already. and then we got my boy Ron with us, man. So what's going on, guys? How y'all feeling tonight?
Doing pretty good. NBA all season starting off with a bang a little bit. And then obviously tonight the draft. So a lot of young men's lives gonna be changed. I think it's also the 50-year anniversary of Title IX. So we got
Mm-hmm.
Malika Andrews, hosting. But it's a pretty good night. I'm really excited.
Where Ron? How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. Like Zay said, I'm glad Malika's up there. I said we're literally watching a walking legend. 27 years old, on show on ESPN. First woman to ever do an NBA draft for ESPN. I'm excited to see, she has to say what Woj has to say. Woj is going to be working all night. I can't.
Yeah, he is.
That's why I'm excited. I'm excited for the trades and the crazy
Mhm.
stuff, the drama. Everybody else is ready for it.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree, man. It's gonna be a great night. And speaking of tonight, man, I just want to go ahead. My first question I got for both of you guys, man.
Mhm.
Who do you all think is the best prospect in this draft? I start with.
Um.
Go ahead.
Okay. Paulo Banquero. He's a kid that has tremendous upside. And we saw a lot of like flashes, hit a lot of high moments at Duke, but we see a guy when I first saw his frame, and I'm not saying he's this guy, but he reminded me a lot of LeBron James in terms of his frame, a
Yeah.
little bit of Blake Griffin, where they have similar builds. But this kid, I think his upside is amazing. I think he's a glue guy. I think he has a chance to be a perennial all-star in this league. Great, great touch around the rim,
Mhm.
athletic enough. Ball handling really good. I see him in terms of his game. I see a lot of Chris Webber and Michael Beasley. I
Ooh,
see a lot of
Chris
really
Webber
Michael
reference.
Beasley. I see a lot of Michael Beasley in his game. Obviously, we know Michael Beasley, great collegiate career. Um, decent NBA career for the first couple years, but then kind of fell off. I think Boncuro, he's a guy that I think can walk into the Orlando Magic uh organization and be like a guy that can give you 16, 7, and 4. 17,
Mm.
7, and 4. I thought Scotty Barnes was kind of I thought Scotty Barnes last year was like the best glue guy last year. And now with Boncuro, he reminds me a lot of Michael Beasley in terms of what he can do offensively. Pretty
Yep.
good
Mhm.
pull-up shooter, but
There
not
we
a
go.
great catch and shoot. Great catch and shoot guy. But go ahead, Ron.
Uh, well, we got to see the Orlando Magic
Six
select.
coming in now.
Oh, Boncaro's number one pick. So, I'm early. I must be earlier than you all.
I guess you are, but was it Bankaro?
Boncaro. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
They must have been throwing smoke screens the whole
Wow.
draft. Like Zay said, I had him as my number two player. I had who's going to be the number two pick. Probably going to be Chet Holmgren. Gonzaga. I think
Wow.
he's the highest ceiling in the draft. I think he's the one. I think he's the one of the, if not the best defender in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a
Wow.
unicorn. I think that he has no comp. When you have no comp, it can be really good or really bad. I'm just betting on the really good side. So I think he's gonna be one of the type of players that we're gonna look back and be like, oh, okay, like he was the unicorn of that draft. The best one I heard was I remember when they say when Luka Doncic came out, he had no comp. You had to just comp him to random people to make one guy, but there was no actual guy that's ever had his skill set with his size, speed, and everything like that. Like people are like, oh, he's like LeBron, but LeBron was more athletic. or he was more like this player, but this player could shoot the 3-ball better.
Right.
So it was just like with Chet, there's no actual player that he really comps to. Like you hear bad comps like Durant. You know, it might be similar size, but like overall, they're different players. So it's going to be interesting to see Chet. And now I can't wait to see who's the 2 pick.
I know, right? I feel like this pick really kind of, I guess at least for the top 3, yeah. So now it's like, man, okay, where does OKC really go? Because I had Jabari Smith 1 and I had Chet 2 to OKC. So now I think this really, you know what I'm saying, puts OKC in a position to really kind of think about it. Like, okay, now what are we doing here? Yeah. And it's crazy I say that because for me, I thought Jabari Smith was probably the best player in this draft.
Yeah.
Now, crazy enough, I do think that there are players that may have a little bit more of an upside, maybe a higher ceiling. But I think that Jabari Smith was probably the most ready guy to come in and really contribute, you know, right now. My player comparison for him, I looked at him as more of a Chris Bosh, maybe with a slightly better handle. I was listening to Jay Billis a little earlier, and he was saying Kevin Durant, and I refuse to give that. I refuse to. I refuse to.
Oh dang, Tobias Harris! I hate
Tobias Harris. Okay. I don't dislike the comparison, but
wow.
Okay, but I thought Jabari Smith. I think he's more of like a Chris Bosh type of guy, but I think he has the capability to be a little better defensively. I think he has a little more of a mean streak to him than Chris Bosh did. Obviously, Chris Bosh was a really good shooter, and Jabari Smith is really a great shooter, especially for a big. He can really stretch the floor, shoot the ball. I think he has the capabilities to be a really solid defender. He can put the ball on the floor. He has shown the ability to be able to put the ball on the floor. Yeah. And I think he can be a bit of a mismatch for a lot of bigs in the league because he can really face guys up and really take them off the dribble. So, yeah, I thought that, you know what I'm saying, he was I think that he was the best prospect here in the draft right now. OKC is on the clock. Ron, I wanted to mention something because we were talking earlier. And I believe, initially we both had Chet Holmgren going second to OKC, if I'm correct. So, although we were talking earlier, though, and I think that you probably think a little higher or a little more of him than I do. So, what is it about Chet Holmgren that makes you feel like he can be a superstar in this league? Because I'm a little questionable on him being a superstar.
Yeah, I think people just, I don't know. I look at players like a lot differently. I feel like I said with Boncaro, I thought he was the number 1 offensive engine in the draft. Like he's gonna be able to lead. He can be the leading scorer on a championship team. Boncaro. Chet is not that guy. That's not who I think he's going to be.
Okay.
I think he'll be probably maybe your best defender, your best rim protector. I think he'll be a huge contributor, probably a second or third guy on a championship team. But if we're looking, if you're drafting him thinking that he's going to be the leading scorer on a championship team, I think that's where that's maybe where the weight concerns can come up. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's like a 15, 12, and 5 guy.
Okay. So in essence, I think you and I kind of agree on that notion because I don't think he can be. What'd you say?
Is that a superstar? That seems like a star defensive player he sounds like a more offensively gifted Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, but if you can get if that be as a player, can sign me up. Yeah,
I compared him more to obviously Kristaps Porzingis. I think and Kristaps can block shots, but I think that Chet is a more willing defender than Kristaps is. I also think that
pick is in. By the way,
I also think that Chet is a better. I see the pick is in. I also think that Chet has a much more natural handle on the ball than KP does, and so he's another guy that I could really see turning and facing guys up or being a problem because he can get the rebound and be a break starter and really facilitate the break.
With Chet, I see.
And here he goes. With the Oklahoma City Thunder, he just got picked.
Who's that?
This is
Chet.
I see.
we're on the ball today. We talked about the number one pick.
We rolling.
Talked about the 2 pick. He hopped on the screen.
I was gonna say with
Word.
Chet, he reminds me of a newer age version of like Pau Gasol. I think
wow, that's a great compare.
He's a little bit better than Pau Gasol defensively, maybe his upside is a little bit better than Gasol's defensively, but Gasol offensively was a little bit ahead of his time in terms of how skilled he was. He had a pretty decent handle for his size. Gasol, he was a 4, but he was a 7-footer that could really stretch the floor a little bit and shoot the mid-range jumper. It had a solid post game. I see a lot of similar skill set and traits with Chet. Like a Gen Z version of Gasol, of Pau Gasol.
And on defense, I think he could really be like we saw Robert Williams and Al Horford do. That's the type of player needs to be besides.
That's him. Yeah.
Rover, like Rob Williams did. You think Rob Williams can get 2-3 blocks a game in the finals? This guy is going to get just as many. He has the amount of length. He's a 7'5" wingspan. Like
I can agree with that.
He's going to be a problem. Like
absolutely.
I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but there's a lot of superstars. Like we had, like even players. It was always the argument. Like if I want to build a championship contender, do I want Russell Westbrook? Do I want Klay Thompson on my team? Like Klay might have never been the superstar, but if I'm building a championship contender and I already have another superstar,
Klay impacts winning
when I want Russell Westbrook.
Absolutely.
He's gonna help you win that championship more. I think Chet is the modern center or the modern, big.
Big.
Yeah, because he might be a power forward.
I don't disagree with that.
Well, okay.
So I gotta.
No, I don't.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I got a question. So
I was gonna go about Jabari Smith too because
he can guard Cat though. I
was gonna say he might get picked third. It seems as if.
I think it's a foregone conclusion now that Jabari Smith has to go third to Houston,
and it makes sense. It makes sense because they just moved Christian Wood.
Yep.
So
I think they're ecstatic as an organization. I think they have to be ecstatic that Jabari Smith falls to them.
Absolutely, I think it's a good fit. And you mentioned Chris Bosh.
Yeah,
I had put down a 2-way version of Rashard Lewis.
Oh,
I think he's a 2-way.
I love the names we're throwing out here, guys. I love the names.
He reminds me a lot of Rashard. Rashard Lewis had that high arching form, really good shooter. Like I said, I think Rashard Lewis a little bit before his time, but a tweener a little bit, but was too fast for bigs, but too small for wing players. And I think Jabari has those same capabilities of being able to pick out those mismatches, but also defensively. That's something Rashard
is amazing on defense.
Defensively, that's why I say a 2-way Rashard Lewis.
Wow.
He has to be. He has to. He's not going here. It's no way. They should. Whoever is the GM should be fired. If he is not.
This is a layup here. I mean,
I'm surprised the pick isn't in already.
Yeah, and this has to. And like I said once again, I mean, I believe they have to be ecstatic about this. This is a great pick for them. They still got Kevin Porter Jr. to kind of facilitate for them. Last year they took Jalen Green. You know what I'm saying? A really nice wing. I loved Jalen Green last year, and I still love him. I still think he has some great upside.
Yeah.
I know they like the kid Sengun that they had. I think that's a lot of the reason.
I forgot they have him. That's actually a really good fit with Jabbar.
Exactly. I think that had a lot to do with them letting Christian Wood go as well.
Really
good. Now you get Jabari Smith right in there with him, man. I think like you said, I think that's a phenomenal fit.
It's phenomenal. I actually didn't think Sengun is not the best defender, but he does everything else. So Jabari comes in is like the Aaron Gordon. They have Aaron Gordon. You have an offensive center. You need a really good defensive power forward. That's That's what you're right then.
Real quick, Zay, I'm gonna go to you and then run. I'm gonna come to you real quick, Zay. How do you feel about Paolo Banchero and his fit with the Orlando Magic?
I think he fits right in. I think Ron mentioned already him and Wagner in the front court. Like I said, I thought Orlando.
I always get them mixed up. That's Franz Wagner that's in Orlando, right?
Both
of them there.
Center is also
there. Mo. Okay, cool. Okay. I always get them mixed up.
He's there.
Okay, bet.
Banchero, like I said, Banchero, I think he's a guy, like Ron said, he can come in and be the leading scorer on your basketball team.
Yeah.
I wanted Orlando to move up to trade up to get Scotty Barnes. Obviously that didn't happen.
Year.
Yeah, but now I feel like they have their glue guy in terms of I think he's a guy that's going to give you 17, 18 points a night, fresh out the gate, 7 boards a night with about 4 assists. I think like with his size, his shot creating ability, I love his pull-up 3. It reminds me a lot of Carmelo a little bit, where that pull-up 3 is just so dangerous. But then also he has elite finishing ability around the rim. I like it. I
think he has a little bit of work to do as far as his jump shot offensively.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do like I do like the pick, and then you're pairing him with Cole Anthony, and then last year they took Jalen Suggs as well, who I really liked coming out of
Markel's still there.
Gonzaga. Yeah, Markel's still there. Little known fact, a lot of people don't know, Jalen Suggs actually played high school ball with the number 2 pick this year.
That's crazy.
Chet Holmgren. They're both from Minnesota. They played high school ball together. They both ended up going to Gonzaga. But I like the fit too. And then Ron, speaking of Chet, how do you feel about, real quick? And I know the number 3 pick is coming in.
Yeah, we were on the board again. We haven't missed one time so far.
3.
Okay, yeah. And they did take Jabari Smith. All right.
Yeah, okay, but Chet's fit with OKC, I think that's actually his best fit. Just the timeline of the team, what they need, he fits everything they have. First, they can't defend, so he comes in automatically with a role. Just do something defensively, block a couple of shots. You might get pushed back. He has time to this. People say when he wants to gain weight, wants to get some more strength. He has time. OKC
that'll come
anytime soon. They have SGA. They have Giddy. First, what he's going to do, he's going to get the heck out the way on offense. For SGA and Giddy, that's already a W because they both can get downhill. And then when you come back on the defensive end, they just get blown by too easily. They need somebody at least be somewhat of a threat. If it could be a vertical threat, just something. So I think he comes in with a role, and it's a team he can grow with, which I think he needs time. Now this will be, I think the rookie of the year we knew it was going to be Banchero. I think he's automatically like, if I don't know how you bet anyone else to be the rookie of the year, I think he's automatically going to come out of the gate 15 points a game, like first season.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that
one. Yeah,
I like that pick too. I really foresee Giddy being a real playmaker for them, and kind of allowing SGA to kind of be off the ball and really be like a scorer for them.
Get them buckets.
I do like Chet Holmgren's fit there a lot because I think he's also a really good shooter, especially for his size. So I see him really getting a lot of pull-up threes. Like I mentioned earlier, I also see a lot of the possibility of him, getting the ball off the backboard and just being a break starter himself.
He can do it.
I like Lou Dort, and I didn't think he would be this solid of an NBA player either. But I like Lou Dort. I think he coming out of Arizona State, I think it was. You know what I'm saying? I was a little down on him, but I seen him in the bubble, and I was like, okay, he's improving. And every year his game is constantly improving. So OKC is definitely they definitely trying to put a little squad together for him. Hopefully SGA comes back healthy next year, and they'll be all good. So a lot of people have said, I think it was a consensus thing, and we all knew who the top 3 picks were going to be. And I want to discuss Jabari Smith's fit with Houston in a second too. But a lot of people have said that the draft will really start with Sacramento.
Yeah.
So I was just curious, real quick before they put their pick in, who did you guys have going to Sacramento?
I know I said this would be the first reach of the draft, and I had Keegan Murray going here in my mock draft. I said they were going.
So did I. I had Keegan as well.
I said to me, he wasn't top 8 player. Now that doesn't mean he's not a good player. I think he's really good. I would love for the Wizards to have him at 10.
When you say he's not a top 8 player, are you saying that you thought that there were guys more talented? There were 7 more guys more talented than he was in this draft, or are you saying that there are guys with more of an upside?
Well, he's a little older, so he's probably like more ready day one. But we all know,
he's
what you're going by in the draft, like you have the wrong strategy. Like the draft is for the long haul. They said, Hakeem would be more ready day one than Jordan. How'd that work out? So it's just like,
Hakeem a bad boy now.
Wasn't an L, but it wasn't the W necessarily. Like, so it's just like, I think long term, like, it's just guys here. And Jaden Ivey, I think, is just a better player. I think Shaden Sharp is going to be a better player. I think it's going to be AJ Griffin might be a better player. I think Mathurin might be a better player. I think it's guys that are going to be better than Murray. Now, I think Murray steps in day one like Robert Cup needs 3-and-D. Like, he's going to be 3-and-D. Again, he's a championship level power forward. Like, he's a starter on the NBA Finals team. He has that skill set. We see Jay Crowder do it. Like, he's that type of player. Like, he's going to come. He's going to have a role day one in the NBA. Cam Johnson, I heard, was his comp for a lot of people.
Wow.
So it's just like like those are all players that we know, like, there aren't superstars. They might not even be stars, but they're going to have a role on teams that want you. PJ Tucker. These are players that teams want. They're going to play defense. They're going to make the wide open three.
I had Keegan Murray going fourth as well. I'm gonna tell you my player come for him, and this might be a little crazy, but I kind of compared him to an Al Horford. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of 6'8", 6'9" guy. You know what I'm saying? He has a little shooting touch to him. You know what I'm saying? He really reminds me of Al Horford. You know, when he came out.
4 for 4, ladies and gentlemen. We are 4 for 4.
So they did take Keegan.
They did Keegan. Okay.
All that means Jaden Ivey to Detroit is filthy.
No. I think so. If we want to get to that, I think Detroit should take Benedict Mathurin.
Wow, over Ivy.
Ooh, okay, I don't disagree, but I just think most people had Jaden Ivey as the fourth or fifth best player in this draft.
I think Ivy is better, but I think Ivy is a better fit in Indiana, and Benedict is a better fit in Detroit. I don't necessarily now like. I think like I said, Ivy's the better player. But Ivy played at Purdue. He's an Indiana kid. His mom, legend at Notre Dame. So right. I think it all comes back full circle, and I think it's a better fit with Indiana. I feel like he will be able to come in and be able to score the basketball at the rate that he can. And with Benedict Mathurin, I think his skill set, he reminds me a lot of Richard Jefferson. A lot of Richard Jefferson, where he's he's the prototypical small forward.
Another Arizona guy, FYI.
Arizona guy, same. See, so I think with Detroit, you pair him up with Cade, who's an already ready playmaker. You don't ask Benedict to be a playmaker or your lead playmaker. He's gonna be a guy that can catch and shoot the three. He's going to be able to come off of screens. Didn't do much at Arizona, but I think he'll have to get well acquainted to that. And I think Detroit is going to make a run for DeAndre Ayton. So you got Cade with Benedict Mathurin and Ayton. I think if you can give Mathurin a really good playmaker, which they have in Cade, and then a really skilled big man, which I think they should go after Ayton. I think Mathurin makes the most sense.
Wow.
Despite I just like Ivy so much more. Like, it's like tears. I just can't. You can't. Like, I hate need in any draft, especially when they don't even have a shooting guard. Like, I mean, you could say Killian Hayes, I guess.
No. Come on,
I don't think they're too big on Killian Hayes anyway.
I thought Ivy could be a superstar. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I didn't have him as high as the other guys, I think his floor is way lower. I think he actually has superstar potential.
Who he reminds me of?
Yeah,
he reminds me a lot of Donovan Mitchell.
That's a W.
Ivy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Donovan Mitchell.
Like a dynamic guard.
I don't know if he is as good a shooter as Donovan Mitchell is. Crazy enough, I had him as kind of, and I don't even think he's as good as this guy was coming out of Murray State, but I kind of had him kind of like a Ja Morant in that role, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he's already obviously he's already a little bigger, he's a little longer, you know what I'm saying? He already has a real prototypical NBA body. To your point, Zato, I do think that Benedict Mathurin might be a better fit for Detroit. I just think that I just see them going, best player available, and I just think they'll feel like Jaden Ivey is a prospect that they can't. I just feel like he's a prospect that they can't pass, you know.
Yeah.
Now I do wonder how the fit will be. Maybe I'm assuming that, you know, if they take Jaden Ivey, then Cade Cunningham would really be that real facilitator for him, and they kind of slide Ivy over to the 2 and maybe just let him be a slasher and go for it. And then there's time. I think they're both interchangeable. I think they both can be, you know, ball handlers or whatnot. Kind of similar to Cleveland's situation before Colin Sexton got hurt, and how they had Sexton and Garland, and they both were kind of interchangeable as you know, ball handlers or whatnot. But I will say this: that's interesting because I do think Mathurin would be a better fit for them.
I was going to say, but that's why I say Ivy. He gives me a Donovan Mitchell feel because Donovan is not really a point guard, and Ivy's not really he's not. He can facilitate. He can play make.
Yeah, he's not necessarily a point guard. Yeah.
And that's why I like the comp between them because they both have great first steps. I think Ivy probably has the quickest first step in this draft. Yeah. I think that's hands down. But then his driving ability, I like him with my ideal fit would be Indiana, but I think you guys might be right.
Bo always thinking about his Dallas Mavericks, boy. I tell you.
Right? And Detroit does have Saddiq Bey, who is 6'7". So you get Ivy, that means you have a 6'8" K kind of, you have a 6'7" Saddiq Bey. And you just throw in the little guard, but he's down. That means he's guarding the point guard now. Right. I think what is Ivy? What is he? 6'2"?
6'3", I believe.
6'3", just small guard. But regardless, you're the point guard on your team is 6'8". So
right, yeah, agreed.
In that case, and you're right, DeAndre Ayton. They have actually, I heard they had $56 million in cap room, and they just traded Grant. They have a max slot.
Yeah, they can get Ayton,
or you're gonna see Ayton there.
I think
so. Now, hypothetically, you know, if they get an Ayton, you know, they still have Isaiah Stewart, who I do like, but you see them maybe just slide him to the bench and him just being an energy guy coming off the bench.
Ivy crying on screen.
I think Ivy's the 5th pick.
It has to be.
He has to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to be the number 5 pick.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and make that assumption, and I'm gonna get to that real quick. Hold on. Let me see. Let's check the pick.
Kind of talked about fit a little bit.
He's crying like OD. You know, it's crazy. His mom, WNBA player.
Yeah.
His dad or his grandfather was an NBA player. So like he's
a family of athletes.
Yeah. And a lot of these guys are like that. Banchero's mom played in the WNBA, so a lot of these guys are like that.
And Jeremy Sohan's mom played for the Mystics. So what happened to that? He lacked out. But yeah, so there we go.
Okay, I'm back.
What just happened? Let me see. Hold on. There we go. There we go.
There you go.
Kenny, what's happening?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Are you froze?
No, I can hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're
very well.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Man, I had to fight my way here. Traffic was bad.
Let me see how's that, guys? Is that better?
Perfect. Yeah. I like this.
Awesome, man. Kenny, obviously, King Tiberius. Always a pleasure, man. Glad you can get up in here, man. As you can see, this draft is going. We done got through about 5 picks already. What I wanted to do real quick, and the Pacers are going to be on the clock here. What I wanted to do real quick, Zay, can you tell me how you feel about the fit with Jabari Smith in Houston? And then Ron, can you tell me how you feel about the fit with Keegan Murray in Sacramento real quick?
Okay, so with Houston, people know my podcast, I'm a huge Jalen Green fan because I had the pleasure and privilege being able to have his trainer that worked with him throughout the NBA draft process, and he's been telling me Jalen Green has the goods. And I think, speaking of Jalen Green, I think now that Houston obviously moved Christian Woods to Dallas, I think the Jabari Smith pick makes a lot of sense. I think you guys made some strong arguments for him being either the number 1 or 2nd best player in the draft. My comp for him was a two-way Rashard Lewis. Can really stretch the floor. Rashard Lewis could take advantage of bigs that he would blow past bigs, and then he'd be able to post up and shoot over smaller guys. And I think you're getting that same type of ability with Jabari Smith, but also a really, really good defender. But if he can develop and work on his handle, we may have a star on our hands, and his ceiling may be a little bit higher than what we all think. So that's my thing on Houston. I think it's a really good fit. And it makes a lot of sense of how they're trying to play with Porter and Jalen Green. I think it makes a lot of sense. High up tempo, very exciting team to be watching.
And then real quick run, Keegan Murray in Sacramento.
Yeah, okay. See the pick since I'll do it really fast. But yeah, so Keegan Murray, I think he fits well with Sacramento. I think that's why they took him instead of Ivy there. He's going to be the 4. Sabonis, we all know, plays absolutely no defense. You know, he's gonna. So,
hey, I love Sabonis, man.
He just plays no defense. He's an amazing player. He plays no defense. So I think he fits well. Again, he's the Aaron Gordon to his Jokic. Perfect fit.
Okay.
Helps cover up his weaknesses. He's going to be 3-D. He's going to again get the heck out the way for De'Aaron Fox, who also his weakness is what? Shooting. So that's what I wrote in. He fits the team well, and he's older. He's 21, so he's ready to play year one. And he said that the owner is trying to win now, allegedly. In Sacramento, I don't know if it's a win now team, but they're trying to make the playoffs. So
I think Craig, call me crazy. I think Sacramento is a fringe playoff team in the West. If nothing else, they can battle to make the play-in. I think they're. I love the talent that they have, though. I love De'Aaron Fox.
Well, they've been that for the past 3 years.
they have. Look, they have. No, I have no rebuttal for that. They have. You know what I'm saying? But I like Davion Mitchell, the kid they took last year out of Baylor. They still got Harrison Barnes. I mean, I love Sabonis, man. I love Sabonis, and I think Keegan Murray can fit right in with him, man. I can see them at least getting to the play-in game, man.
Yes, sir. Okay. Troy. I see you.
The pick is in. Let's see who the Pacers are taking.
Everybody crying tonight.
Benedict Mathurin. All right.
On my mock draft, I'm 4 for 6 on the way I wrote. I'm doing more. So
I am too. I'm 4 for 6. Craig, believe it or not, I had them taking Johnny Davis from Wisconsin.
Wow. Okay.
I had them taking Johnny. You know, I don't know. I figured. Well, I don't dislike this pick. First of all, I guess I figured the Pacers. I think the Pacers are another team who can maybe bounce back and battle, you know, at least for a playoff spot or get into the play-in in the East.
Me too.
And with that being said, I didn't think they would take like a Dyson Daniels or a Shadon Sharp because I thought that they would want a more seasoned guy who could help them right away. And then, you know, Johnny Davis went to Wisconsin, a Midwest thing. I just kind of thought, okay, maybe they go for Johnny Davis. With that being said, though, I really love this pick for them. You know what I'm saying? Man, Mathurin is a guy who can come in, who can defend, who can shoot. They still have Malcolm Brogdon, although I hear Malcolm Brogdon is on the future in a lot of trade talks. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But at this point, they still got Malcolm Brogdon. They made the trade last year for Tyrese Halliburton. They still got the kid Chris Duarte, who they took last year in the draft, who they really love. And now, you know, to be able to add Benedict Mathurin to that mix, a kid who I think is really mature, a kid who can shoot it, who has some ability to put it on the floor a little bit, who will get after it defensively. I really like this pick.
And I actually had him. He went a pick early. I had him going 7 to Portland.
The comment
is gonna catch a body.
Not literally though. He's explosive though. Like that's the word you use.
He is.
He's explosive.
He is, man. He's not afraid to score. And I really do like this pick.
Me too. I do. I was making my case for Benedict to go to Detroit because I thought he was a better fit, but I like the pick too in Indiana. I like the pick.
And now we got Portland on the clock. So crazy enough for Portland. Crazy enough, I had them. I got two guys in this spot. Crazy enough. One being Shadon Sharp.
Me too.
Now Shadon is I feel like he's going to be a real project for them. And so my other guy that I had in this spot, and if he doesn't go in 7, I'm almost guaranteeing he'll go 8. My other guy I had in this spot was Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't go there though.
I hope he don't go there.
I think I think if Dyson Daniels doesn't go 7 to Portland, I'm almost guaranteeing he'll go to New Orleans.
He's gonna be with the Pelicans if he doesn't, probably.
But I think and Shadon Sharp, I mean, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? I like him, but he's very raw and he's a project. This is a kid who really hasn't played, you know, competitive ball in about a year and a half, almost 2 years, you know. He graduated in November. He went to Kentucky in January, but he decided to hold out and not play. And so he really hasn't played competitive ball, you know, in almost 2 years. Go ahead, Zay.
I was gonna say it reminds me a lot of Trey Lance, where I like Lance as a prospect, but I think Lance literally had like 500 passing attempts in 2 years. It was something crazy like that, where like it was just not enough tape. You had to watch like 2-minute highlight tapes where he just running over dudes and throwing touchdowns. And it's like, that's it? Yeah, that's all. That was the season highlights.
Oh, my goodness.
But for Shadon Sharp, I see a taller Bradley Beal.
Yeah,
I see a taller Bradley
I don't think he'll
Beal.
ever be that pure of a shooter.
Maybe. Well, he's streaky. So maybe I will say Zach LaVine, because he's freakishly athletic too.
Yeah,
but like you said, he's a late bloomer. But boy, I think he can really shoot the cover off the basketball. It's just that he's really streaky.
They said 49-inch vertical. Now I don't think that's real, but that's.
I mean, I tell you what, you know, I seen some highlights of them, and obviously they're all from high school.
Yeah,
but I mean, athletically, crazy enough, I thought that even more so than Jaden Ivey, I thought that Shadon Sharp was the most athletic kid in the draft.
Over Jaden Ivey?
Even more so than Jaden Ivey, man. I don't. And once again, this is high school competition that we've seen him play against, because I think that's one of the big knocks, that he didn't play college ball or even, you know, any against other elite competition. Yeah. But I mean, if you watch this kid, I mean, he's a little bit of a freaky athlete. And I think, you know, I think that's what a lot of the excitement is about him, because there's so much potential with what he could possibly do with that athleticism. And then he has the ability to be able to kind of, you know, create his own shot and, you know, knock down jumpers at a consistent basis. I think the real knock on him was just that it just didn't see him in college. They're going off of what he did in high school, you know, so they really didn't see him against, you know, better competition. But real quick, guys, I know we obviously Jaden Ivey went 5. We talked a little bit about it. How do you guys feel about that fit with Jaden Ivey 5 to Detroit?
Well, we talked about it a little bit. Ivy, they have Sadiq Bey, who's at the 3. Obviously they got Cade, who is the 6'8".
Bay's a streaky shooter now. We talking about a guy who had a 51 point game last season.
I know. He can get hot real quick. In Portland, I see their pick is in behind me. But I think it's a good fit. I think Ivy, it's a good fit. Like I said, I'm kind of glad
Portland did take Shadon Sharp.
Okay, they took Shadon Sharp.
How tall is he?
He's 6'6". He grew.
Yeah, 6'6", 6'7". Yeah.
He grew. Yeah. So that's why I said like a taller Bradley Beal, maybe not the same shooting touch, or maybe not as fluent, but he has the requisite skills offensively. But with Jaden Ivey, like I was saying, I think it's a good fit in Detroit because you have a willing playmaker and facilitator in Cade at heart. And I think Ivy, like I said, I don't think he's necessarily a point guard or your leading playmaker. You bring him in, you let him score the basketball. And I think it'd be a good addition to what they're already building in Detroit. on top of some free agency rumors that they may get DeAndre Ayton. So I like the fit even more. And Detroit as a team if they're able to land Ayton.
Okay, and then Ron, how do you feel about Benedict Mathurin in Indiana with the Pacers? Excuse me.
It's crazy because he's actually probably gonna play shooting guard.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I don't know. You think so? Because I kind of foresee maybe because Mathurin is, I believe, 6'7".
Yes,
6'6", 6'7".
He'll be a wing.
So-
He'll be a wing. He'll be a 3.
I
be a
can kind of see them possibly
Duarte,
playing.
Small ball.
But you're right. You're right. They do got Duarte, but
it's
so maybe Mathurin comes off the bench, but I still see them
3 or 4
starting Halliburton and Brogdon. If they keep Brogdon, I
yeah.
still see them starting Halliburton and Brogdon in the backcourt, and then Duarte and Mathurin maybe battle for that other wings position. You know what I'm saying? Duarte really showed some ability to score last year. So
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at these highlights from Shaedon Sharpe. It's amazing. I'm so sorry.
Yes,
y'all, you guys,
and that's what I'm saying. Like he's a freak athlete, but it's just nobody's seen him against real competition. Like he was literally drafted off of what his high school tape, and then what they seen him do in the at the draft combine. He didn't play it in the games, but he did do all of the stuff as far as the measurables and all that. And everybody raved about him.
He was the number one high school prospect. So.
He was number one in the class of 2022 before he reclassified and went to Kentucky.
Yeah. So,
but Kenny, what do you? I believe Kenny. I believe you had him at 7 to Portland as well, man. But
as far as
I don't know, how do you?
Talking about Benedict Mathurin?
Shaedon Sharpe went to Portland at 7.
Oh! I had Shaedon Sharpe going 10 to Washington.
Oh, wow.
Remember, because I told him, I said I knew Bradley Beal was gonna opt out of that contract. And lo and behold, he went ahead and did it. I said they're gonna need some ammo at guard.
So real quick though, do you guys see a situation where Bradley Beal actually leaves Washington? Yes. And Ron, I'm gonna come to you. Well, both of you guys, both of you guys are there. So y'all would know. Both of you guys are there. Do you guys really truly see Bradley Beal leaving Washington?
I don't though. I wish
I don't
he
either.
would.
At first,
he would leave.
So so you think he opted out just to renegotiate his contract?
Yeah, he wants the supermax. Wouldn't you? I mean, I take 252.
Absolutely.
250 million.
I mean,
I'm not losing
Jesus' name.
I'm sorry. I'm not losing $70.
At first, I didn't think so because I'm like, he's a family guy. It seems pretty family oriented.
Yeah.
He had another kid. I think that's 3. Like
really?
They just have them back.
Did he marry Shorty yet?
Huh?
Did he marry Shorty yet?
Yeah,
Last name is Bill. Yeah, come on.
Hey, shout out to them now.
Yeah.
With scandal.
So to me, he loves DC, but
yeah,
I think he's gone. With the opt out, I think he's gone.
I don't think he's gonna lose that $50 million. No, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Ron. I think that he opted out, but he's just gonna go ahead and negotiate that super max. But I with that being said, though, I do think that he would like to see Washington, really make an effort to get some veteran guys or get some guys in there that can really help him. And don't get me wrong, I think they got well, you know what? I don't want to get too much into it because they're gonna be coming up here at 10 and not in a not so distant future.
Let's see who this is. This has to be.
This got to be I say Dyson Daniels here.
We're assuming this is Dyson Daniels. I'm
going Dyson Daniels to New Orleans. I'd be surprised if they didn't take him.
Maybe AJ Griffin.
I don't think he's going that high. I don't think he's going this high.
AJ Griffin that'd be the best fit here. You need shooters around Zion, and you got a guy that couldn't shoot, and you don't love it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, and they took Dyson Daniels. Okay,
if you guys get me to talk on him, it's gonna be a lot of hate.
on who?
Just saying, Dyson Daniels.
I didn't love it. I'm not gonna lie. People made me want to like him. I didn't like it by what I saw though.
Really? Hold on. Okay. Well, hold on. Okay, so we know
he just like that.
He just went 8 to New Orleans.
But like,
Zay, well, hold on, Zay. Since you're gonna have a lot to say, Run, why don't you like the pick? Because you look, because Run, because you listen. And for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying, Ron is a very, very great, very eloquent writer. You know what I'm saying? And I read the article that you wrote on Dyson, and you could have fooled me. You could have fooled me.
Yeah.
So real quick, what do you dislike about him?
For one, people think he's a better playmaker than he is. I think he's more of a passer, like Alonzo. He's a connector piece, is the word I would use. He's a connector.
Mm-hmm.
He's not your playmaker. In the half court, he's going to be atrocious his first year. Going to be bad. I don't want someone clogging up the paint when you have a walking 27 point per game score on the team. And you don't even know who I'm talking about. It could be Brandon Ingram, it could be Zion, it could be CJ. They're all can do 27 a game. They're all that willing of scores. I don't want someone in the way, especially with Zion. You just need, but one thing I can say about Dyson, he's probably gonna throw a lot of oops, just like Alonzo did. So he's literally he just seemed like Alonzo more than me. Now, and we all know Lonzo was almost
that's not a bad comp though.
But it took Lonzo 4 years to be playable. Like
Lonzo.
I wouldn't agree with that.
You know who my player comp was for him. You know who my player comp was for him, and then Zay, I'm gonna let you explain why you don't necessarily care for him. But my player comp, crazy enough, when we talked about him earlier, I seen him as a more athletic Josh Giddey with OKC. I don't expect him to score at all. But I think he's a great fit for New Orleans because on that team, he's not going to be expected to score. He doesn't have to score. True. But if he can come in and be a playmaker for them, he can take CJ McCollum off the ball. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Ingram can just score. Zion, he can just catch Zion Williamson and places where he needs to have the ball. And Dyson Daniels has a lot of potential defensively because he's a 6'7" playmaker. He can't defend. He's a 6'7" playmaker. You know what I'm saying? And I think even if he comes off the bench, those possibilities that you have with him and then Alvarado defensively, I think that's something. And defense, it might be an area where New Orleans needed to improve. I really, really, really like this fit for them because there's no pressure on him. He just have to go out there, facilitate and defend, almost like a Ben Simmons, facilitate and defend. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Zay. Why? Zay looking like.
I'm so sorry. And if he turns out to be, I don't know, like the best player in this draft,
if he's Ben Simmons for them, that's wonderful for them. Wonderful. For this New Orleans team.
So I heard you guys comps. Like I think you guys have astute basketball minds. My comp was Evan Turner.
Man. But for this New Orleans team, that's okay. If he can just be a playmaker for them, that's okay.
It's one thing. Okay, first, he's a good playmaker. I don't see elite playmaker.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Another thing is, it's one thing to have the ability to score, but your team needs you to facilitate and playmake for others. It's a whole nother thing where you are an offensive liability and you become an offensive negative, and your team is just looking for you to playmake. And I think that's a little bit with me with Dyson Daniels. I did read Ron's article on him. I was okay, but like okay.
Let's look at me because he wrote so eloquently, and it was a really great article. Look, he sold me on him. I'm like, you know what? He's right, man. This dude, he is talented, man. He's right.
I think the pick and roll will be his best friend. He is a solid defender. You guys point out his positives, and there's a lot of plus there, and there's a lot to work with. But I just think in today's game, and looking at this Pelicans team, with it's the floor is already kind of clogged up a little bit with your front court. But I look at his jumper; it's not the most technically sound.
It's not. But he did improve as the G League season went along. It did improve.
And the good thing about him, the good thing about this is you can improve as a jump shooter. You can improve as a jump shooter. So I say that, and I don't want to be too down the kid. Congratulations to him, but I'm just not the biggest fan. And like I said, I just think he's a little bit liable offensively in terms of a score. Like I said, you can be asked to play make, But at some point, you're going to become an offensive negative if you're just not even looking at the basket.
Yeah,
So
they're going to be a really good small ball lineup, though. Like, you think about it's going to be Dyson, CJ, BI, Zion, and Herb Jones. You can play. Now, we talked about Sacramento being a sneaky team. New Orleans is a team I think can actually be in the play-in. Well, they were.
I mean, they made the playoffs this past season, so I would think that they would. Yeah, I would hope that they could at least get back to the playoffs this season.
I think they will.
Kenny, real quick. We got San Antonio here at 9, and their pick is in real quick before they make it. I personally would love to see them take Mark Williams, but I believe they're gonna take
Johnny Davis.
I think they're gonna go big. I think they go Jalen Duran here from Memphis. But I was just gonna ask you, who did you have? Did you have Johnny Davis?
I gotta go on Johnny Davis.
Johnny Davis from Wisconsin.
Okay, since the Spurs and you're saying Johnny Davis, how do you feel about DeJounte Murray's future in San Antonio? And how much does this pick impacts that? Even though we don't have, they said they want a haul. They want like a Drew Holiday type package deal.
For DeJounte?
Yeah, he's 25 too.
Maybe the Clippers go after him, and the Clippers will get some picks and stuff. Be hard to win against that team.
Well, let me say this: I like DeJounte Murray. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the league.
He was an all-star this year, I think.
Yeah,
man.
Reserve.
I
mean, I don't. Man, why?
Made it.
So you think San Antonio would really let him go?
I just had to throw it out there.
Huh?
Do you think San Antonio would really let him go?
I mean, if they get I don't know. So that's the thing. They're
for the right price.
He's a third option on a championship team. San Antonio's problem is that he's their one.
I think he's a really great playmaker though. Not that he's just so extremely gifted offensively, but I just think he's a really, really solid playmaker. And I still think he's improving. I still think he's getting better.
Now this,
the pick is in.
This on my podcast, I told them they were crazy. So now I look bad. Now I look bad.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Biggest rises of the draft board
from Baylor.
Okay. He shot 28% from 3. But
I did not expect
he lit it up at the pro days or at the workouts that he lit it up at every single workout from 3. He
lit it up from 3?
And he said at his workouts in college,
because like you just said, he is not a good shooter.
He's atrocious.
I'm very happy. I'm trying not to ruin this for myself because it's just like if Johnny's to DC is a W, we just need a score. And that gives us a little Bradley Beal insurance. That's what I wrote. We need a little insurance. Maybe I think Johnny's a player. Johnny can play defense. He can shot create. But so I think it's pretty good too, and I think this means they keep DeJounte now. This seems like a fit for the team, to be honest.
So real quick,
this kid
Jeremy Sochan. Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead.
I was about to say we talked on Monday. You said Jeremy Sochan felt like a San Antonio Spurs pick. Remember you said that?
I did, and the reason I said that is because. And I told him in my notes, I wrote down the same word 3 times about him, and that's defense, defense, defense.
Yes.
This kid will defend like nobody's business. And he almost gives more energy and more of an effort on the defensive end than he does on the offensive end. Who was my comparison for him?
My comp was Aaron Gordon.
Okay.
Interesting. I'm not mad at that.
My comp, crazy enough, my comp was Gary Payton II. Like a kid that can, and then this is another thing too about Jeremy Sochan. We always say hypothetically about guys in the NBA, we always say, hey, this guy can guard all 5 positions. Jeremy Sochan can guard all 5 positions.
He can
for real.
Seriously. Like he can move his feet. He'll get in there and bang. He about 6'8", 6'9", but he's pretty long, pretty wiry. So I mean, this is a San Antonio Spurs pick. I thought they would go big because I think Jakob Poeltl was in a contract year. So I thought they would go big like a Mark Williams or a Jalen Duran, but I don't dislike this pick.
I think with Jeremy, he's like defensively, he's gonna be awesome in the pick and roll defense. He does everything.
Prototypical pick and roll defender.
Like the switching schemes within the NBA, like with how popular with these different switching everything and the pick and roll defense, he's gonna be excellent because he's very versatile. Like you guys said, jumper needs a lot of work. Offensively, it's not like I sometimes even question, like looking at him, like, does he even care about the other side of the basketball? Like,
and he's a decent ball handler. He's a solid passer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like you said, bro, offensively, it's a lot to desire.
Yeah, it might be time for Greg to get out of there. It's a lot of defense, no offense in San Antonio. Who's going to shoot the basketball there? Who's the best shooter on the Spurs roster right now? I really am.
The best shooter? Ooh,
that's a good question.
No, that's a great question.
Do they have one? Is the question.
That is a great question, man.
I hope not. And I like DeJounte, but he should not be your best shooter.
I don't know,
man. No, that's a really good question. Now I'm really like, man, I'm really jogging through my brain. Like, who do they have to shoot the ball?
Johnson, like he can shoot, but if he's your best shooter, then you cannot shoot the basketball.
And I like Keldon, but like you said, he still has a lot of development to go with.
Devin Vassell.
I was gonna say that. I think they still got the kid, Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker. He's more of a Skywalker. I'm not sure if he's not a
Skywalker.
They're just good God,
man.
AJ Griffin, the ball is real. Some people were telling me. I said, look, if anybody's going to fall in the draft, it's going to be AJ. They say he had the bad ankle, the bad knee, the bad freaking body. So it's
I didn't have him. Crazy enough, I got him at 11 going to the Knicks anyway.
No, okay, well, yeah.
So did any of us expect Johnny Davis to drop this late?
I told you I had him at 6, but I think now with the 10th pick, I think we can agree that this is probably Johnny Davis' time.
It has to be Johnny, or or AJ, or if it's not those two, then I just hop off the line. And I just cry.
So with AJ, so you think that that's a solid fit? Because I look at AJ Griffin and then I look at Washington, and they already got they still got Kuzma, they still got Hachimura. They just grabbed Corey Kispert last year. Yeah. So I feel like now if you go with AJ Griffin, now you're going with another guy that's in that same mold. So could you really see him going to this team?
I think it's Johnny. I don't think there's AJ Griffin shot 45% from the 3 in the ACC. He can't not be a fit on whatever team he goes to. You can't not. Like, he's 6'6", 250 pounds and shot 45% from the 3. He fits on every single team in the NBA. There's no team that does not use that skill set. Like you can't train that. You can't make someone become that good of a shooter and be 250 pounds and be 6'6".
No, I feel you. I do agree.
5 pick is the body. He'd be a top 5 pick, I think, if it was just because of just the body. Like it's too. Oh, here we go. Look,
Johnny Davis, yeah.
So they pick Johnny. Okay,
it makes sense.
Exactly where I predicted him.
We said Johnny. Okay, now I need to find my sunglasses.
All right. So I think this is a solid pick. I think if nothing else, this is insurance. You know, in the event that Bradley Beal does decide to walk. I like Johnny Davis's game though. Like I think he's a really mature kid. You know. He has I think I had put in my notes that he's a real like 3. He really put these glasses on.
Absolutely.
I put in my notes that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like he's a real 3-level scorer. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an adequate 3-point shooter. He has a nice mid-range game. He will kind of get around the post, you know, even in that, 8 to 10 foot area. He's pretty solid around that area. And then another thing that I had in my notes about him is that, he's not that he's necessarily known for his defense, but Wisconsin, playing for Greg Gard, and then before that they had Bo Ryan. If you play at Wisconsin, you're going to play some defense.
You're going to play defense.
Yeah. And I think that this is a kid who's very capable of doing that, very mature kid. I like the pick. I do like the pick. I think if nothing else, it's insurance in case, Bradley Beal decides to leave, and if Bradley Beal stays, I think that he's a nice kid to possibly bring off your bench and give you a little bit of a scoring punch.
I like Johnny Davis. My comp was Devin Harris.
Come on, bro.
Ooh. Look,
that
Bo gonna have a jab for you.
Everything, bro. He
gonna have a jab for you.
Yeah. But yeah, Devin Harris was kind of my comp for him. A pretty good facilitator, like you said. Not a marksman from three, as Bo pointed out, but an adequate 3-point shooter, respectable, better than Dyson Daniels.
Right. Yes.
I like this pick for Washington. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's a good fit.
I agree.
Yeah, the Wizards needed a score. They needed a shot creator. He does not need you to pass him the ball to get his 20 points off. He doesn't. Yeah. The Wizards don't have that guy.
He can kind of create his own shot. Yeah, that's a great point there.
If he was on 2K, I'd say he'd be a pure shot creator. I think that's what I said he would be. He's literally a pure shot creator on 2K. If you build your own player, he's a shooting guard, pure shot creator, high mid range, by the 72 3-pointer probably on 2K. We could work on this. He can make it open, but I don't want 5 attempts a game.
Great analogy for all my 2K players, because I got to get my 2K game up, man. And then Bo, this is a good point though. 8 boards a game as a 6'5" guard, man. He's very impressive. He's a good. I like I said, I really like this pick, man. Real mature kid, really good kid here. At number 11,
small forward. I think he will. Oh, the pick's in. Okay, but I think he'll play some small forward Wizards too.
Kenny, real quick. We got the Knicks here at 11. Real quick, who did you have in your mock going to the Knicks here at 11?
Oh man, let me. Okay, I had to save it. I'm updating the tracker. I'm gonna put it on the bottom ticker. I actually had Sochan going here.
Oh
yeah, I had Sochan going here at the Knicks. Obviously, I said they needed some help down low.
I think a guy like Jalen Duran could help.
Ooh, so I know Mitchell Robinson. I believe he's a free agent, so that's not a bad pick. I think they go AJ Griffin though.
It's the Knicks though. I thought we're giving them too much.
You don't think that's a reach, AJ Griffin? You don't think that's a reach, AJ Griffin is early?
It could be a bit of a reach.
AJ Griffin, you think so? I don't.
AJ Bills is number one player, but
at this point, all the best players are pretty much off the board. So you're gonna, it's kind of like guys gonna go for broke now.
Yeah,
I don't know who
I think the Knicks need offense though. They were very hard to watch offensively, and maybe they can address that in free agency.
Yeah,
but I think either you go offense here or you go Jalen Duran. He reminds me a lot of Robert Williams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was my player comp for him. He's definitely Robert Williams, and Jalen Duran has an NBA body right now.
Yes, he's a tank.
And don't let Duran get to LaMelo Ball and Charlotte Hornets. Don't let him get there. Listen. That would be the perfect scenario for Charlotte. I'm telling you,
if he was to fall to the Hornets, that would be the perfect scenario for
him. That is crazy.
Who in the world is going to be this? Wow.
Bo, are you ahead of me? Hold on, Bo. Talking about a trade. Who got traded?
He said Jalen Brunson to the Knicks.
Oh my God, he's trolling. Oh wait, is he not trolling?
Oh, They took Uzman.
I think he's saying that this isn't who the Knicks are going to take. I think the Knicks are going to trade this pick.
Package it and trade him.
They're gonna trade it. Yeah.
Who wants this pick though? Look, man.
Hey, hold on. Now, okay. I'll let you go. I don't know. First of all, have you guys seen this kid?
I've seen a little bit of him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you. And I'm gonna tell you who was my player comp for him. Right now, crazy enough, I had some guys being going already, so I had him actually going to the Hornets at 13. But I'm gonna tell you who I have for him. If he reaches his ceiling, I seen Michael Porter Jr., possibly Brandon Ingram.
Oh, he can shoot that good. I know
he has some. Yeah, he has some. He has a really, really, really nice skill set. Like I know he's about 6'10", but he's really a wing. Yeah, he's legit a wing. And then I threw this out at Kenny, and I'm gonna see if you guys remember this guy. I said as a floor, he can be like a Boris Diaw.
You did say that.
Oh,
you did say that.
No, I think his floor, honestly, may be Chandler Parsons.
Oh,
a prime.
I don't know if he's that good of a. So you think he's that good of? Because Chandler Parsons was a solid shooter to me. You think he's that good of a shooter?
He can turn in. I think if he can develop a better jumper, yes, I think he can be like a. Maybe that's not his floor, but like, I think at his ceiling, if he becomes a better shooter, Chandler Parsons. If he can put it all together, then we're probably looking like a Michael Porter Jr. or a
Brandon Ingram. Yeah,
I like those comps
because he has a really, really solid skill set, man. Like I said, he's about 6'10", 6'11", but he's really more of a wing. You know what I'm saying? Possibly even a guy you mentioned earlier, possibly even, and we're going back here, like a Rashard Lewis.
Rashard Lewis, yes.
Because like once again, he's not a big, like he's really a wing.
Yeah, he's not a big.
He has a really nice handle.
He's a 4 probably.
At the most.
But the 4 in the NBA now is another wing.
So they traded him to OKC, by the way.
Oh, so
okay. So I get in essence, I wasn't. Who did I? Oh, they traded him to OKC. Wow.
I don't like this.
So who did they trade him for?
OKC had the 12th pick though. Why would they trade that one spot?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We waited all night, and this is the first excitement trade we got. NBA. This is the best we could do.
You disappointed?
So I want to know who they traded them for, because it seems like OKC still have this 12th pick.
Right. They didn't trade their pick. Maybe they traded somebody
a player
on the roster for this guy.
So it's time to go. Let's see what Bleacher Report has.
Multiple first. They traded them for multiple first?
Yeah, Bleacher Report says New York drafts Dang at 11 and sends him to OKC for multiple first round picks. The question is, OKC has like late picks. Like they have the 30th? They have a lot of picks in draft.
So check this out then. So those and I'm assuming those are future picks. So check this out then. So we know they took OKC at. We know OKC took Chet Holmgren at 2. They just traded for Ousmane Dieng, and then they still have this pick here. So OKC is putting some things together now.
They're putting a lot of things together.
So Ousmane Dieng on the OKC, I like it.
He needs to be the 4 then. How is he a good defender? OKC needs.
He's not. He is not a good defender.
I don't like the fit then.
Dieng is not a good defender.
You need.
But
they gonna have size.
I mean, the upside that he has though is crazy.
So the shortest player on OKC is going to be Lou Dort.
Bo, this is I think this is a little bit of a reach right here, bro.
Jalen Williams.
That's the kid from Santa Clara, if I'm not mistaken.
He looked good.
I believe.
Don't
get me wrong.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Well, Bobby Marks said OKC needs a floor spacing big, and that was Dang.
Yeah.
So the kid Jalen Williams, I had my comp for him was OG Anunoby.
Okay, so the post pick was not part of the trade. Yeah, so the Knicks just took an L. The Knicks just don't. I don't know what the Knicks are doing. The Knicks.
It's the Knicks though. It's the Knicks. I know Knicks fans are probably.
The Knicks had a top 11 pick.
I know they're probably breaking.
So OKC now has drafted number 2. They have the 11. They took Dang. Now they have the 12. So I guess this must be Jalen Williams. This must be what Bo was talking about. Jalen Williams must be going here. So now they got Jalen Williams, and so wow, OKC has too many players though now. Like that makes sense. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, but
really,
they still have Trey Mann off the bench who was looking good last year. You still have Lou Dort. He's still there. You have Giddey. You still have Derek Favors who opted in.
Oh, they
I
do
think-
have him.
I think their team needs fit right in with Jalen Williams. Like I said, my comp for him was OG Anunoby. That's just what I think of him. I think the kid can shoot it. He has a really good feel for the game, and has become a pretty good ball handler. So I like this pick if they do.
See
go.
that was my weakness from him. I feel like
He
as far as a
improved little
ball, I feel like as far as a ball handler, he's still a little out of control with it,
Mhm.
and that's why I really looked at him. You know, I felt like his best attribute would just be kind of a spot up shooter, because you're right, he is a fairly solid shooter. But I felt like his ball. I look at it like this, and I researched the kid. I put it to you like this: when he got to Santa Clara, they recruited him as a point guard, and they moved him off the ball because his ball handling was a little shaky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really see him as more of a spot up and shoot guy. But I'm really interested to see who OKC is taking here, because they really kind of putting the draft together here.
Yeah. If this isn't AJ Griffin, goodness gracious. I mean, we talk about Durant.
If it's not him, then he's really gonna fall.
You talking about
you go to Charlotte with LaMelo kicking the ball out?
You talking about OKC or Charlotte?
OKC.
OKC's got the pick right now.
Pick is in now.
They took.
Okay, so Bo informed us what was coming.
Let's see.
It's a great suit.
Okay, so they did take Jalen Williams. Wow,
Hey,
he was a bit of a riser for me, though. I didn't have him this high up. He's a bit of a riser for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
He's just throwing darts at the board, though, man. Because everyone can't start. Like some play, like they're throwing darts. I mean, it's going to work. Well, let me not say this. At least 3 of these, like 8 players, they're juggling. 3 of them have to at least come out.
They're gonna hit.
But doesn't this put Charlotte in like a really good position, because now they got their pick of the litter? They could get either Jalen Durant or Mark Williams.
Durant here,
and I think they get AJ Griffin too. You get LaMelo a shooter, like he shot.
Because they got 13 and 15. Now, I think 13 they take Jalen Durant.
You said they have to take Jalen Durant.
Or I'll say this too.
They gotta go big.
I was just gonna say. Ron brings up the point. They could go AJ Griffin here because they'll still have that. I feel like at 15, they'll still be able to go either Durant or Mark Williams, whichever one is available.
Take AJ first.
Well, yeah,
that's right, because they're right there. Okay, okay, you're right.
Yeah, because Cleveland not gonna draft the big.
Oh, Cleveland's gonna draft a wing. Watch.
Right, Cleveland's not gonna draft the big.
Might get AJ Griffin. So if gracious, that's a good fit. Actually,
my thing is with this, I don't like this Jalen Williams pick though, because my thing is I feel like there were at least 2 better guys at the wing that they could have used with this position. I like Ochai Agbaji from Kansas.
Me too.
And then
AJ Griffin,
Malachi Branham from Ohio State was still there.
Yeah,
and so I feel like I feel like they. I don't know. I feel like this is a bit of a reach for them. I don't know. I feel like this is a bit of a reach for them. Kid from Santa Clara. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is a bit of a reach for them. I think Agbaji and Branham would have been better, catch and shoot guys for them.
Can't argue that. I like Jalen Williams.
Even AJ Griffin. I know you mentioned AJ Griffin. AJ Griffin, yeah.
This would be a huge W for Charlotte if they're able
to win.
If they're able to get AJ Griffin at 13 and then at 15 get Jalen Durant,
A+ draft right there. You got a shooter and you're big in the same draft.
So here's my thing for Charlotte though. Let's say hypothetically they do get AJ Griffin in. So first of all, I think either Jalen Durant or Mark Williams, Charlotte's going to take one of those guys on one of these 2 picks.
Yeah, for sure.
Book it, right? So with the other pick, let's say they do take AJ Griffin. Where does he fit in? And I mean it in a sense of, Miles Bridges could have possibly been most improved player last year. Like he definitely improved last year. And then they still got PJ Washington as well. And so I feel like if you put AJ Griffin in there, I feel like you kind of got 3 of the same type of wing guys, so to speak. So for me, I say, okay, you still got Agbaji there. You still got Malachi Brannon there. And it's crazy that AJ Griffin is falling like this. But I think they take one of those more pure shooters, and then they get one of the bigs with the other pick.
I'm gonna say, don't forget they drafted James Bouknight last year too at 13.
Oh, I forgot about Bouknight.
They did, yeah, you're right.
They took him down to the G League, but they drafted Bouknight. So that's
you're right. Griffin because Griffin could be your 3 though. I think he
could.
It's just the body though. I don't know if he can hold up defensively at the 3.
So even at the 3, I think he's probably coming off the bench because Miles Bridges had a heck of a season.
I think Miles is their 4 though.
Oh, okay, like a smaller 4. Okay,
PJ was their 6. PJ didn't start last year. It was Plumlee for why? Oh
yeah, you're right, Hayward. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think him and Rozier on the trade block.
So I have been hearing Rozier on the trade block.
Yeah, Rozier's been a trade block for like the last 2 years.
And then Bridges, I'm not giving him a max deal. If Detroit says, "Oh, Miles Bridges, we're going to give you a max," I'm like, "Oh, well, see, it was nice knowing you," because I'm good.
And crazy enough, Charlotte's still looking for a coach.
Really?
like they're drafting right now, and they're still looking for a coach.
It's just hire D'Antoni. Like, just.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If they did hire Mike D'Antoni, they would be exciting to watch.
That would be
the things he could do with LaMelo as his point. Oh my goodness,
LaMelo and Durant, remember Capella.
Listen, they might not stop nobody, but they might put up 140 a game.
No,
they're not gonna stop nobody. But
if they get AJ and Durant, you can book D'Antoni, sign that contract tomorrow. Because I got my shooter and I got my lob threat.
And I got my point.
My point. You got your Nash. You got your Stoudemire.
Kenny man, who do you think Charlotte's taking here? What are you thinking?
Would y'all be upset if they shocked everybody and took Agbaji?
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't because like I said, I think that he would be a really nice fit for them. And then I think because of the way the draft is going, I think either way they're going to get one of these 2 bigs, either Durant or Mark Williams. Either way, they're going to get one of these 2 picks. So I wouldn't be upset at all.
Bo is Woj.
Yeah, Bo is Woj. Woj is just breaking our news at this point.
I don't know if his TV is ahead of us or what, but Bo better slow down. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't be mad at all if they took Agbaji because, like I said, they got 13 and 15. Now, in my draft, I actually had Agbaji going 14 to Cleveland, which I think would be a nice. I think would be a nice nice pick for them.
What are they doing?
My man said, "I don't know nothing about the players of this draft."
What about Isaac Okoro?
I think he can. Yeah. I think Okoro can still fit there. One of these guys are going to come off the bench, but I think Agbaji is a player that's ready to make an impact now. And hold on, Charlotte's pick is in. Let's see who they get.
Yeah, well,
they got Durant.
Okay, they took Jalen Durant. All right.
So Bo is Woj. Okay.
Word.
I would have preferred them to take him at 15 because Cleveland's not going to draft a big.
They might not like
Mark Williams. You get to choose what like wing player you want, but now it's like you got to wait on Cleveland. Now, hopefully, maybe Cleveland takes Agbaji and you still have AJ Griffin at your disposal or another wing. So we'll see.
Well, let me say this though. I love this pick for them. They needed a center. They need to move on from Plumlee. This kid is a rim protector. He's still really raw offensively, but this kid has a ready-made NBA body. He's really physical. He got some dog in him. He's a rim protector. He's going to rebound. This is a kid that's going to run the floor and playing on that team with a guy like LaMelo Ball. He's going to catch a lot of lobs. He's going to get a lot of easy buckets. My
comp was Robert Williams. I think
that was exactly my
taller Robert Williams.
That was exactly my comp. I had Robert Williams as well, man. And yeah, man, this is a great
pick for Charlotte.
Great pick for them. Absolutely, man. I don't think they could have. Another guy I compared them to as well. a guy that was really raw when he came out of college, out of Louisville. I kind of compared him to Montrezl Harrell as well. So yeah, man. I mean,
I think he's a way better defender than Montrez. But
yeah. Absolutely, he's definitely a much better defender for sure.
I get your point.
All right, let me see. Hold on now. We got one more guy here. Let me see. I don't even know if can we get him in here. Let me see.
Yeah, if not, I was about to get out of here. Okay, well, regardless.
Oh, we got him. Travis, what's happening, bro?
What's going on? I don't know why it's on the other side. The camera is filming.
Yeah.
Well, look,
it's flipped.
It's flipped.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
Well, look, man, we got Mr. Travis Reed on. For those of you guys that don't know him, man, former player at UCLA, former overseas pro, man. And once again, Mr. Reed, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. How you feeling?
Big basketball.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just sitting here watching the draft. The only surprise to me so far is Ivy going ahead of Duke from Arizona. I think Ivy
ahead of Matherin.
There we go.
Yeah, trust me. I seen Duke from Arizona play a couple times because I went to UCLA. So
I know you're a Pac-12 guy.
So I seen him play. He's the real deal. He is the real deal. Ivy, I think they thinking like John Morant, but it's only one John Morant. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when they say the boy Chet is like Durant. I'm like, there's only one Kevin Durant.
Right.
Everybody long and skinny.
I don't like that comp.
No,
I don't either.
He's more Porzingis than he is Durant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just because he can shoot and he's skinny and long don't mean he Kevin Durant. So
no, I agree. So Travis, man, is it any as far as what we on? We're on pick 14 now.
14.
So of the first 13 picks, and I see Cleveland got their pick in. Of the first 13 picks, man, any pick that really stands out to you, or any fit that you think was probably just the best pick or the best fit?
I would say Jabari Smith to Houston is a good.
Good pick.
Yeah,
I think him, Jalen Green, the other guy from Arizona State last year, like that whole crew they got, a young crew. They can build something together. Kind of like Golden State did. I'm not. They don't have Golden State's thing, but they have a good crew of talent.
Yeah.
I thought the dude from Duke, Pablo, should have went one. He was the best player, flat out in the country.
So you thought Banchero was the best player?
Yeah, no, he's 6'10". He can shoot it. He can handle it. He can post.
Yeah.
He has an NBA body. I watched him dominate Chet when they played Gonzaga. And I seen him dominate Kentucky, the dude who was National Player of the Year.
Chefway, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Chefway. So he's scoring wise, maybe defense he needs to work on it.
Yeah.
But scoring wise, he's ready. But Orlando got about 50 power forwards, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
They do, and I know Mo Bamba, who's one that they have. He's had some injury issues. Like we mentioned earlier,
they're gonna probably move Mo.
They're gonna move him.
Like we said earlier, they still got both the Wagner brothers, Mo and Franz, and they still got Jonathan Isaac as well, and they got Wendell Carter. Who's my boy? So I mean, they got a log jam down there, And
remember, they had Aaron Gordon,
right?
They did, and they had Aaron Gordon, yeah.
They still got Jonathan Isaac, who hasn't played.
That's what I said, dude. They have about 50 power forwards. They we're gonna stockpile power forwards. Everybody plays the same position.
But like you said, though, I think Banchero can be a better fit there because of his ball handling and playmaking abilities.
Banchero can play the three. He can play the three a little bit, 4 mix.
Okay, I had this when Cleveland did take Okai Agbaji from Kansas. I love this pick.
I like him.
I need a wing. They need an athletic wing.
And I loved him at Kansas. First of all, he's a big shot taker, a big shot maker. he's a
aggressive.
Big shot taker. He's a big shot maker. We're talking about the best player on the national championship winning team. He was the Final Four most outstanding player.
Yeah.
He was an All-American. I mean, I really like this kid. He's really mature. I really, really, really like this kid. I like this pick for them. You know what I'm saying? And Cleveland, once again, they're a team in the Eastern Conference who they were in the play-in last year, and they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. They'll be getting Colin Sexton back next season from injury. Obviously, Darius Garland.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be surprised if them adding Agbaji really gives them some shooting in the backcourt. That frees them up to kind of move on from Colin Sexton. Because I think
they don't want to pay him.
They don't want to pay him, and I think Darius Garland's a better fit for what they do.
Me too.
Yeah, I obviously he's a much better ball handler and facilitator. Even when Colin Sexton came out of Alabama, I kind of seen him as a run trick pony. Like I didn't see him as a real facilitator. He's just a guy that's just gonna go score. I think he'd be perfect coming off of somebody's bench. But yeah, I really like this pick here in Agbaji here going to Cleveland, man. And he's a kid who can shoot the ball. As you can see, his game improved, his point per game average improved every year. He's a 4. I love guys who stay in school. Like he's a 4-year guy. And I feel like he's going to really come in and really pay dividends and help this Cleveland team right away. So,
hey, Travis.
Great pick.
I was going to ask you about Banchero. My player comp for him was Michael Beasley. How do you feel about that?
I think he's Michael Beasley, but he's more motivated. Like, Michael Beasley, and this is no offense to Michael Beasley, he wanted the NBA lifestyle, right? He didn't want the NBA like grind out life. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's not in the league now. Michael Beasley could be still in the NBA. He's that talented of a player.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, especially from an offensive standpoint.
Some people compared him, like they said he was better than Durant in high school. You know, they come from the same area.
They did.
But like Durant is all about hooping. He don't give, Durant don't care about nothing else. Michael Beasley seemed like he cared about the other life of the NBA. But I did want to say this: the two weirdest picks in the draft to me.
Okay, let me hear him.
7, the dude from Kentucky who never played from Kentucky. The number 1 high school. Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, I seen him in high school. His athleticism is spectacular. You'll see it.
Yeah. I was saying that he's a freak.
He's a freak athletically. But I'm like, he ain't never played. He didn't play all last year. How'd he go number 7?
He did, man.
The kid from Santa Clara, I think he might be the highest pick since Steve Nash.
Yeah. Jalen Williams. I was just saying I felt like that was a bit of a reach, you know what I'm saying, taking Jalen Williams.
But that's Oklahoma. They have like 1,000 picks, so they can do reaches, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we said. Look at
they you're right. They do, but I just feel like there were better guys, especially on the wing, who they could have took ahead of him. They could have took Agbaji. I like the kid Malachi Branham from Ohio State. They could have took him. I just think that there were better wings to take. And then as far as the Shadon Sharp pick, I mean, you know what? Crazy enough, you mentioned it. I wonder how Damian Lillard feels about that pick, because I don't see him. I think he's a kid with a lot of upside, but I don't think he can necessarily help Portland win games next year.
That's why they got Grant. They got Grant to kind of make Dame happy.
I did like that. I love that pickup. You know what I'm saying? Grant is a very versatile kid. He can guard multiple positions. He kind of gives them that opportunity to keep Damian Lillard and Anthony Simmons, who really had kind of a breakout season for them last year, and I like him. So even though I feel like they're gonna run themselves right into the same situation that they had with Lillard and McCollum with these, they
can't keep Dame, man. They also got Eric Bledsoe. I mean, forget that they got Eric Bledsoe too.
Bledsoe's not gonna see the light of day. He's not gonna get time like that. He's on Portland, bro.
He's on Portland. Remember they traded.
Bledsoe's not gonna get that time of day right now.
They traded, the CJ. They traded him.
They traded CJ for Bledsoe? Yeah, like remember they gave up Powell to the Clippers.
Yeah,
for Bledsoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a.
Bledsoe's not gonna see that much time with that Portland team.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
Even the time that he got last year was more so because Damian Lillard was out. He's not gonna see that much time with this Portland team.
He's a vetering guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see. Like they have a bunch of guys at the same.
Josh Hart is also on he was also in that same trade. Josh Hart.
Yeah, exactly.
Forward. It's probably gonna be Josh. It's gonna be Dame, Simons, Josh, Grant, Nurk. Jaden Sharp.
Yeah, and then Nurk is coming back next year.
Yes, I mean, that's what I said. I was confused about it. I was like, yo.
And they did, and Duran was traded. He's a Detroit Piston.
Jalen Duran got traded.
Was traded. So Charlotte just took Mark Williams. Be like, why the heck?
So I was just gonna say, so they got to be taking Mark Williams here then.
So Duran was traded to the Knicks. The Knicks dumped him, and because they want to get off Kemba Walker's contract to the Pistons for the same pick the Pistons got for trading Grant yesterday.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
The Pistons lost nothing and got both of their players.
Hold on.
The Pistons lost. And this is also good insurance because they may not be able to strike with DeAndre Ayton. So it makes sense.
You don't have to.
So wait. Help me out here, guys. Okay, so you guys are saying that the Pistons now have Jalen Duran.
Yes.
Okay.
And Kemba Walker.
Oh, and Kemba Walker. Okay. And who did the Knicks get in? Who did the Knicks get in return?
They got the pick, the same pick that Jeremiah Grant got. The Portland 2020.
Okay.
The Detroit sent that pick to the Knicks, but they also took on Kemba Walker's contract.
Okay. So Jalen Duran, Kemba Walker go to Detroit, and then
the Knicks are just nicking.
Yeah, and then Charlotte just took Mark Williams.
I guess.
So and I was just saying earlier that Charlotte has to get either Duran or Mark Williams. They need one of those guys. So I mean, they really don't lose too much. You know what I'm saying? I think Jalen Duran maybe have had a little bit more upside, but as far as what they need, I mean, Mark Williams is going to block shots. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a great rim protector for him. I think he led the ACC in blocks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so they got Mark Williams and the dude from Memphis.
No. They traded Jalen Duran to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the Knicks hopped in. They also traded Kemba Walker. They got off Kemba Walker's contract and traded him to Detroit as well.
Maybe the Knicks are trying to make a push. And it seems like
they're gonna make a push for one of those two guards, the dude from Utah.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, yeah.
The Knicks eventually they're gonna try to go get the dude from Utah,
Donovan,
or Bradley Beal, or you know what I'm saying? Like one of them is.
They're cleaning up
cap space. Knicks is trying to do that.
They're cleaning up cap space. They're
cleaning up the cap space.
The Knicks have been cleaning up cap space since I was born.
Yeah, I agree.
1999, they've been cleaning up cap space.
That's true.
No, I agree with you. I think,
but that's
they have a decent package, to go get, but like it's pennies on the dollar.
Because RJ Barrett is their centerpiece. He's untradeable. Well, I'm assuming to the Knicks.
You think so? I'm not that high on RJ Barrett.
If they go get Bradley Beal, he's untradeable.
He's gotten a lot better.
He has, but for a Bradley Beal, I'd let him go in a heartbeat.
Bill and Julius Randle, that's not a playoff team. Like
they're not a playoff team without they the Knicks. It doesn't matter.
I'd rather have a younger guy. Bill's 28, RJ's 22, 3?
22?
Probably my age. He's probably 99 too.
I mean, but RJ Barrett will never be the player that Bradley Beal is.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think Bradley Beal was gonna be this good. He was not as good as
I mean, I seen when he was at Florida. I seen flashes. I guess I'd be lying if I said I thought he'd be this good. But I mean, if you give me the option, I would package RJ Barrett in any deal for Bradley Beal.
But Bills, you traded RJ.
Does that raise your ceiling anymore?
It doesn't. That's the point.
I don't like
not in this Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Bill. That's a ceiling racist.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna make the playoff. They're not gonna be better than Cleveland.
They'll make it to the play-in with Bradley.
Bradley. I mean, you talking about? Wait. I'm sorry. You talking about the Knicks if they were to make that trade?
Yeah, they'll make it to the play-in.
Yeah, I think so. I think you hypothetically you give up RJ Barrett. You able to keep Julius Randle. I mean, I listen. RJ Barrett is solid, but we know Bradley Beal is a 27 to 30 point per game scorer.
We gotta I like Bradley Beal to death, but we gotta start asking ourselves, even with his free agency pending, is Bradley Beal because he's a good scorer?
Is he a number one?
Is he a championship caliber player?
No.
Like, is he going to do the things that help you win championships? Because
No.
he's a really good scorer and a good shooter of the basketball.
Here we go.
But we're talking about him.
No. You don't even have to finish the sentence. No.
Right. There you go.
No.
Okay.
I think he could be a two.
Okay. Atlanta
He's
took
a three on
AJ
the
Griffin.
championship team, the three.
I agree.
A+ fit, by the way.
Okay, I'll put it like this. If you were to put a Bradley Beal on a Miami Heat, I think they win it. They have a chance to win a
But
championship.
he's a three on there, right?
No, he would. Okay, I'll put it like this.
I put Bam over him. Jimmy won, Bam too. Because Bam is like not saying a scorer, but he's like
Bradley
Draymond
Beal.
Green type.
Bradley Beal would be their number one scorer.
No,
their number one scoring option.
He would be their leading scorer.
He would be the number one. They would defer to him, but they would just hold everything down defensively. That's the only thing they do for scoring.
You crazy? Jimmy Butler is going to be the man.
Wait. So you think so if they bring Bradley Beal in Miami, you think Jimmy Butler would lead that team in scoring?
No,
Jimmy Butler's the dog. He's the alpha.
He might be. You're right. He might be that guy, but Bradley Beal would lead them in scoring.
He might lead him in scoring. You're right. But
Okay,
Jimmy Butler
and hypothetically, this is my
dude.
thing though. Hypothetically, they probably get rid of a Tyler Hero though.
They do.
They have to. They don't have no cap space.
Yeah.
They already.
Tyler Hero is already. Tyler's already been talking about he wants to be a starter next year. He wants to be a starter.
They won't be there.
He's on
Yeah, it won't be in Miami.
run! Why you shake your head like that, bro?
He's not. He's the shirt. They're like, you're not that guy, buddy. You're not that guy.
Well, no, if he wants to be the star, he's not gonna look. They're already gonna lose PJ Tucker. He already opted out of his contract.
Yeah.
So PJ Tucker knows that he's gonna.
I hear my Bulls are looking at him low key.
The Sixers are too.
I think that's a decent fit on the Sixers.
Yeah.
I think it's a decent fit on the Sixers too. They need some grit and some toughness.
Damn, that's the third Duke player drafted, first round.
Oh, so AJ Griffin ends up going to Atlanta.
I like it.
They got 5 first-round picks. Duke got 5 first-round picks this year.
Oh yeah, because Mark Williams,
I think.
AJ
Carroll,
AJ.
Mark Williams,
Ben
and
Carroll,
Griffin.
Mark
They got
Williams.
the other 2 dudes who stayed in the draft.
Trevor Keels might go, and then Wendell Carter Jr. might go.
Well,
So they may end up with 5. Duke may end up with 5.
No, they'll end up with 4 for sure. 4 for sure.
Yeah.
For sure 4. Most likely 5. But
I'm not sure how I feel about AJ Griffin going to Atlanta though, because they still got DeAndre Hunter, right?
They got a lot. They got a lot of the same
position.
Yeah.
Same position.
and
And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, as I'm trying to remember. They still got Cam Reddish as well, right?
Yep.
No, they moved
He's on the Knicks. He was on the Knicks. Right?
Okay.
They got Kevin Shooter, who you probably thinking about.
Okay.
They still got the shooter. The one from
Hooter. They still got Gallinari.
Kevin Huerter.
He's going. They're going to decline that deal. He has a team option. He's going to decline.
Yeah.
Gallinari.
Yeah, the figures too much. The figures
$20 million for Gallinari. He's going to decline. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they gotta pay,
so Gallinari could be a
pay
nice
this
pick
year.
somewhere. Then he could be a nice piece somewhere. Then
They got to pay.
Capella's
Collins.
The power forward.
Collins.
Yeah,
Collins. Yeah, John Collins. Yeah.
Now, he might be out of there
because he wants $100 million.
Yeah.
And then I know he was a little early in the season he was a little upset, you know what I'm saying, as far as not getting the touches that he thought he deserved.
He wouldn't trip if he had the money. He ain't got the money. That's why he wants the touches.
Indeed.
Yeah, the Hawks are. But one thing I can say about the Hawks, they're building a team for their best player, who's Trae Young. He's going to hold the ball. You need players that don't need to hold the ball to score. AJ Griffin is the best.
Now, I was gonna about this whole approach, because I get that Trae he needs the basketball, but isn't it? And you want to build a team that fits him.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be beneficial to get another shot creator or ball handler where it can take the pressure off of Trae Young? Because I think time and time again with these especially with these small guards who's so ball dominant, the deeper you get into the postseason, the more that starts to wear on them, and they could use the relief of another shot creator and ball handler.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I think
I can
you
agree
need
with
somebody to come off the bench. You know they need. They would need dude to come back. What is that dude's name? That turned down the money from the Lakers a couple years ago. That was 6-man runner-up.
Are you talking about? Go ahead.
Talking about Lou Williams?
No. The one that was a starting point guard for Lakers 2 years ago.
Schroeder?
Not Rondo.
Schroeder.
Schroeder.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
okay.
need Dennis Schroeder off the bench.
Oh yeah.
He
Where
can help
Schroeder's
them.
in where's Schroeder now?
Boston
dang.
traded him to
Schroeder
somebody.
done got moved around so much
He's
now.
on Houston. He's on Houston. He won't.
Houston,
Yeah, he didn't play.
He done got moved around so much
He's a free
now.
agent this year.
Speaking of Houston, real quick, guys. Okay, and Houston's on the clock right now, so definitely get this pick in.
This is like the Houston and OKC draft.
Yeah, they got a lot of picks. but real quick, guys. Speaking of Houston, so John Wall just opted in on his $47 million.
Of course he did. I will opt in too.
You ain't gonna make 47.
What do you see as far as a future for him? Because I mean, obviously they're gonna have to move off of him.
No,
and it's crazy because
things are gonna happen. One or two things. He's either gonna get traded to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook, or he's gonna sit out.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not an even trade.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not gonna
either
happen.
that or he's gonna sit out another year because Houston ain't gonna play him.
But that's a lot of money to pay somebody to stay at home.
He's not accepting the buyout.
That's a lot of money to pay somebody to stay at home.
A lot of money.
They paid him $40 million last year to stay home,
and now he's getting $47 million to stay at home.
You know what I'm saying?
Is so much. He's getting paid more money than LeBron James and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Not Giannis. Giannis on the Supermax too.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Him and Westbrook on that stupid deals.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Wizards.
I
love them.
And I mean, obviously, it would make sense. Crazy enough, I'm one of the few people that think it would make sense for the Lakers to maybe look to move Westbrook for John Wall. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
But this is why I say that though. I think it can be addition by subtraction, and so you can go into next year.
Subtraction.
But this is my thing. At worst, you send John Wall home, whatever, and now you're back to having LeBron as your primary ball handler and playmaker.
Okay.
And let me see. Okay, Houston took Tari Eason out of LSU. Another really defensive oriented guy.
Yeah,
they got a lot of offense.
And let me just say, I like this green suit. I ain't gonna lie to you now. I'm kind of feeling this suit. Now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Look like a candy apple, man. Candy apple.
Hey, he kind of clean, man. But yeah, okay. So they took Tari Eason out of LSU. He started at Cincinnati, ended up transferring to LSU. Another guy.
His story is a little interesting. He won 6th Man of the Year of the SEC, but was a first team All SEC too.
He averaged like 16 a game, right?
Yeah,
he led him in scoring.
He led him in scoring.
First team All SEC and 6 man. That's crazy. That's
it's
crazy,
kind of
right?
funny how
I think, but let me say this though. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the players, and Zay, I know you was talking about, a guy that you didn't like in Dyson Daniels earlier. Mm-hmm. This is a kid that I didn't really care for. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because I mean, he's really gonna be a defensive guy. Ooh. Offensively, he has nothing to offer. Like even no, seriously, even if you watch him, right, and you see him, getting this 16, 17 a game. Look, look at this. This is a perfect comparison. He's Herbert Jones. That is a perfect comparison because I don't expect anything from him offensively. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna come in, he's gonna be a defensive guy. Offensively, I mean, he relies on power and strength because he does have a solid body, but he relies so much on his power and on his strength that he doesn't really have a refined offensive game whatsoever. I mean, I guess it's okay for Houston, another guy that can come in and spot him at the minute so he can defend. But
they figure like we can, they got 100 picks too, so they're gonna just keep trying,
Plus, they need defense. Houston needs.
They have a lot of offense.
They need some defense.
They need defensive players. So
I think if he can improve a little bit offensively, I can see him being like a Jeremy Grant, where he can because Jeremy Grant, remember Grant out, and I watched him at the MAFTA. He relied on his physical traits, and he was a really good defender. Jeremy Grant really turned into an offensive guy a couple years ago, where he started to shoot the three ball a little bit better and being able to put the ball on the deck. So
Jeremy Grant is a spectacular athlete.
He's
not. Dude ain't Jeremy Grant athletically. I seen Jeremy Grant at Syracuse. He was a spectacular athlete at Syracuse.
Yes.
So you're right though. He could be that. We'll see.
He could, he can turn into if the three ball can develop a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I don't see that happening for Eason, man. I'm not a big. I'm just not a fan of his. I know, like I said, you was talking about Dyson Daniels earlier and how you're not a big fan of his. That's how I feel about Eason, man. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not sold on him at all, bro. Seriously. But I mean, 17 to Houston. Now next up, we got my Bulls. And
we'll see what happens. I mean, they got the wings. They need like a power forward.
They need a big, yeah.
I feel like we need a real big. I know.
Durant would have been perfect for you guys.
I think y'all could take the center from Arizona. He's pretty athletic.
Oh, I'll tell you another guy, and I don't know if he'll go this high up as far as bigs. He led the nation in block shots last year. If we can get Walker Kessler from Auburn, I'd be okay with that.
Auburn, yeah.
He's decent, but he's gonna get dunked on a lot in the NBA. He's kind of really skinny. I watched him in North Carolina a lot. Duke players used to kind of go at him hard because he was skinny,
Yeah. I know he spent that first year at North Carolina.
Yeah,
and he went over to Auburn. He's
a good player. Don't get me wrong, but he's skinny. I don't know.
So, Travis, I got a question for you real quick while they on commercial and everything. So, Travis, I know you being a former UCLA alum, former UCLA player. I'm assuming that you watched them this year, caught a lot of their games and everything, right?
Went to a lot. Went to a couple.
All right, so I got a question for you, bro. And we probably won't see him go in the first round. He'll probably be a
Perry Watson
guy. No, not Perry. Johnny Uzang.
Yeah, no. How do you
feel about? So this is what I'll say about him. I think Johnny Uzang is one of those rare instances where he actually should have left last year. Because I think if he'd have left last year after the way he performed in the tournament and them getting to the Final Four and the way they played against Gonzaga last year, if he'd have left after last year, I feel like he would have been a first rounder. But he ended up coming back this past season and staying another year at UCLA, and now he's looking at possibly being a second rounder. But how do you feel about him?
I would say this. He went to the NBA camps. They said he would probably be an early second round. He came back to UCLA.
This year you're talking last year?
Yeah, like last year, after last year,
okay.
Final Four run.
Okay.
They said he was going to be a late first, early second.
Okay.
And basically he came back to UCLA because he thought they was going to win the national championship.
And I mean, I can understand that because
so like that's the only reason he came back. Plus UCLA got a lot of money.
We took the guard out of Arizona.
How you feel about that?
He's an athletic guard. I watched him play a lot. Kind of inconsistent, but athletic.
I like him, but okay, so I guess I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this because obviously he's not going to play over Lonzo Ball. He's not going to play over Alex Caruso. So I mean, are we looking at him as more of a? Do we see him as more of a scorer?
Insurance.
Because I hear
he's not a scorer. He's like
and that's my thing.
That's
what I'm saying. He's not a scorer. Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing here. Like I don't know if I like this pick because they're not going to get off of. I mean, I hear they want to get off of Kobe White.
That's why they got him.
They just wanted that extra body, especially because Caruso and Lonzo was banged up.
Yeah, Lonzo's always banged up. They like the big guards.
But if,
Can I tell you
Lonzo
something funny
and
though?
Caruso,
Quick story to tell you how old I am.
Go ahead.
The starting point guard for Arizona is a dude, Kleza Kerr, right?
Okay.
He's from Estonia. I used to hold him as a baby because I played with his dad in Estonia.
Wow.
And Holland, like I used to hold him as a baby.
Wow.
I seen him play. I was like, Kerr Kleza. Wait a minute. And it's like dad from Estonia. Oh, that's his dad, Varmo. I played overseas with his dad for 5 years.
Wow.
That's how old I am.
Bro, that's insane, bro.
Right? I small story, but I played with his dad overseas. Niggas,
but I don't know.
He's starting point guard for Arizona.
I don't know how I like that pick because even I know it seemed like we might be trying to get off of Kobe White, but they like you said, Dalen Terry isn't a scorer. You still
got Ayo too, Ayo DeSumo.
We still got and Ayo's a playmaker, and I feel like if Lonzo's healthy and if Caruso's healthy, Dalen Terry's not going to see the floor. Right, Terry's not going to see the floor. So I don't know how I feel about that. I'd rather them, like I said, went after a big. Maybe even if they took another wing that they could use coming off the bench, you know what I'm saying?
Scoring.
Yeah, scoring. I would have accepted that, but I don't like that pick, man. God damn it.
Well, I think, like I said, that means for sure they're going to trade for Kobe White.
They're gonna move him.
They're going to move him because they don't draft him a first round pick number 18. And then they're gonna keep Kobe. It don't make any sense. They have like 4 point guards.
Word.
They're going to get off of Kobe. Probably going to get a big man.
And I mean, I hear we've been in talks for Rudy Gobert.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to give up a hell of a lot to go get him. So,
but this is my thing too. I feel like if we do go get Rudy Gobert, then I feel like that also means that we're going to move off of Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
You have to
because I definitely don't see them playing together.
No.
So I think that means we move off of them. Let's say, and I wouldn't mind that because if we go get a Gobert, we need some toughness under the rim. We need a rim protector. They're gonna play Patrick Williams at the 4. You know what I'm saying? We still got Levine. We still got DeRozan. Lonzo Ball comes back. I'm okay with that. I can deal with that lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shoot!
But
hey, I'll be right back. Yeah, I gotta go get my charger for my computer.
Go ahead, do your thing, bro. We'll be here. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right. Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. Let's see. Minnesota got this pick in now.
Oh, but there's a trade with Memphis.
Oh, from Wake Forest. Okay. He's not a bad kid, actually. This is one of the guys I wouldn't have mind if the Bulls took Jake LaRavia because I feel like he has a little bit of a scoring punch to him, a little bit of an edge to him. Yeah. I wouldn't have mind if we took this kid and just kind of had him come off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see what Memphis gave up. But there was a proposed trade, so we'll see. How do you guys feel about Jaden Hardy?
Oh, okay. I'm glad you brought him up. So Jaden Hardy is a kid. When he came out of high school, I thought he was spectacular. As a matter of fact, as a player comp, when he came out of high school, I thought he was Bradley Beal.
Yep.
Crazy enough, I said Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I saw Bradley Beal too.
And so I know he went to the G League Ignite team, and I guess he didn't quite light it up in the manner that a lot of people thought, or even probably that he even thought. But that being said, I mean, I think for a team that's late in the draft, I take a chance on him. Late in this first round, I would take a chance on him.
So you think
San Antonio?
I was just about to say that. So I was saying, so you think if a team took him and stored him on their bench and really worked, like you think he still has a lot of stuff he can improve on and be a significantly better player?
I guess my thing is,
can he be a starter?
I don't know he won't be a starter right away.
No, right away. But
I don't know if he's a San Antonio type of player. That's my thing. I mean, San Antonio just has a certain culture about him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he necessarily fits that mold. Looking at some of these teams, let's see, we on 20. San Antonio is 20. Okay, I could see him. I could see him going in the next pick to Denver. Who else? Maybe Memphis, just because Memphis has some guys that they can play and they can kind of stash Jaden Hardy, you know, for the future. Let's see here. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you a guy who's still on the board that I'm surprised.
Can I say
it? Go ahead. Say it, Kenny.
That's TT Washington?
Yeah, Ty Washington. I'm surprised he's still on the board.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's still on the board. And on top of that, so the Bulls just took Dalen Terry, who I feel is a point guard, and I feel like Ty Washington is a much better prospect than him out of Kentucky.
But you know that it's just I think it's so easy for us to say, like these teams have these private workouts, because I bet you there were, you know, when Donovan Mitchell got drafted, I bet you a lot of people was like, Donovan Mitchell,
and I was kind of one of those guys. I was one of those guys.
So they see something, they may see something in their workout that he may fit for our system.
Yeah.
Or they may feel like he coexists with the players that they already have on the roster.
Ira, I was going to say with Jaden Hardy,
mm-hmm.
maybe Bradley Beal, but maybe on the lower end, Dion Waiters.
Ooh, okay.
Because Dion wasn't a great shooter of the basketball. He was very much
when he came out of Syracuse.
Came out of Syracuse, going into Cleveland. He was very much streaky.
Mm-hmm.
But with Jaden Hardy, I see some Dion Waiters as well.
Okay. Well, I think, let me see. I'm also trying to look. I feel like whoever takes Jaden Hardy, he's definitely going to be a project, and he's going to be a guy who's going to be at the on somebody's bench. He won't pay dividends right away, but he's a kid who can develop. And I really like the set of tools that he had. Like I said, I see him in high school, and I was just like, man, this kid can stroke it. You know what I'm saying? And he has some decent size. He's about 6'6" or so. Has some decent size, and the kid can stroke it. And like I said, I think that, you know, he didn't necessarily have the success with the G League Ignite that they thought, you know, that a lot of people thought that he would. And now he's fallen. I do still envision him as a first round pick. I still think we got about 10 picks left in the first round. I still think that in one of these 10 picks he'll go. But I'll tell you this much: as far as a guy that's fallen, I'm surprised Malachi Branham is still on the board from Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
I really like him. I think that he can really help a team. He's a really solid shooter. He's a kid. Actually, he came out of St. Vincent St. Mary, and we all know who came from St. Vincent St. Mary. One LeBron James. And he was Ohio State Player of the Year. They won a national championship, and then he was kind of a late recruit going to Ohio State. And I mean, obviously, he went there, had a great year there. I think EJ Liddell was probably Ohio State's best player. Who's another name who I expect to hear in the next 10 picks, EJ Liddell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as guys that's still left, I'm a little surprised that Branham is still on the board.
Well, I think Denver would be a good fit. He reminds me a lot of Chris Middleton.
Branham. You know what? Who is that? Was that my comp for him? Boy, wait.
What happened?
No, I was trying to see. He said he reminds him of Chris Middleton. Oh, you know what? I had
You talking about EJ?
No, I was talking about Malachi Branham. Crazy enough, I compared him to Jaylen Brown. His ceiling, I thought a Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
And maybe, but no, that's I like that comparison. Go ahead, Kenny.
No, I was gonna ask, what do y'all think about the Notre Dame kid? The Notre Dame
okay,
part.
and right on cue, not to cut you off, right on cue. San Antonio just took Malachi Branham. So I think that's a great fit for him. He goes, going from one great culture to another great culture. Yep. I think that's a great fit for him. He can kind of shoot the ball a little bit. So he's a kid. And we were talking about earlier about, guys with the Spurs who can shoot and whatnot and them needing to spread the floor. And he's a guy that can do that. So yeah, I think that's a really, really, really nice pick.
You think he has a chance to play meaningful minutes early on?
Well, possibly, just because, like I said, they need to kind of spread the floor. You know what I'm saying? And just as they see it here, he is kind of a 3-level scorer. He can shoot the ball, so possibly, I can see him maybe sliding in at that 2 position. And DeJounte at the 1, him at the 2. They still got Keldon Johnson, so I could see that possibly. But Kenny, what were you finna ask about?
He's asking about Blake Wesley
from Notre Dame,
the Notre Dame kid. Yeah,
I see a lot of he has a twitchy game about him. Very slivery ball handler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really high on the kid Bones Highland.
From
last
Denver.
Year,
okay.
Denver drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Wesley reminds me a little bit of Bones.
Wow.
A little bit because Bones, my comp for Bones Highland was Jamal Crawford. This kid Blake Wesley reminds me a little bit of Bones Highland, where slivery ball handler can really score from anywhere on the floor. I think Bones is a better shooter. And that would that would be the knock on Wesley. He's not as consistent as a shooter
streaky.
As I would like him to be. Very streaky, yes.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of agree, man. He is a bit of a streaky shooter. Man, you know what? That was a solid comparison though. Bones Highland.
Bones.
That was a really
I like Bones. I like
Bones. Really solid comparison. Perfect big to pair with JJJ. Who Bo, who you talking about, bro? I'm lost.
Did we miss them? No.
Okay. He was saying watch Memphis get Kessler, who I was talking about.
Who Chicago? I thought Chicago said so.
Yeah, I would have loved that too. But okay, you put let's see, Walker Kessler, Memphis. They still got not Valanciunas. Steve Adams. Yeah, they still got Steve Adams.
He's young too. He's like 28.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And then you still got some years left. You talking about Walker Kessler from Auburn? I think. I don't know, man.
Dude,
because Kenny will tell you, I love Denver's team. I just if Jamal Murray can actually get healthy, and then
Michael Porter Jr.
and Michael Porter Jr. can stay healthy,
he can get healthy.
I think that they'd be right there at the top of the West if these guys can stay healthy. But I just don't know what to say. So as far as this pick, man, I don't know where they go.
I'm thinking another.
I feel like they could use. Yeah, I was gonna say I think they could use a wing who could possibly come in and help. Like I said, now we talked about Jaden Hardy. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they took him at this pick and just kind of stashed him because I feel like they can afford to do that.
I wanted them to take Malachi Branham.
Yeah, I mean, he just went to San Antonio. I'll give you another name, sneaky name. I'll give you two sneaky names, actually. One is Christian Braun from Kansas, kid who can shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's one sneaky name. Another one, and I'm not sure if this kid will go in the first round, but out of Michigan State, Max Christie. Now I'm not sure that may. 20,
it may be a reach.
21. Yeah, that may be a little bit of a reach. It may be, but I don't know. I wouldn't be so. If they trying to get to my board here. Yeah, man. If they took Jaden Hardy, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm looking at the guard from Tennessee, Kennedy Chandler. If they lose Monte Morris. Kennedy Chandler reminds me a lot
about him.
His game reminds me a lot of Tyrese Maxey.
I forgot all about him.
Jameer
You know
Nelson.
what? You know what? I'm with you, bro. Uh-oh, not Jameer. Uh-oh. Kenny, did you hear that name?
Did somebody say Jameer Nelson?
Did you hear him, bro?
The most underrated point guard?
Here it is right here. Uh-oh, a trade. Oh, yeah, we knew that. They talked about that one earlier.
Yeah.
No, no, you right on that one, though. Kennedy Chandler would be nice, man.
Kennedy Chandler from Tennessee, yeah. I think either Denver could use him or even later in the first round, a team like Miami could use him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I said that Christian Braun from
oh wow,
Kansas.
you said that. You
Yeah,
said that.
said that.
You
Yeah, they
said
could.
that. Great
They
call.
They could really use that. Oh man, they had that boy up in the seats with
In the stands.
They had him in the stands. They couldn't have got him no table. They got Bill Self up in the stands. Now they know they wrong. Got him up in the stands though. Well, look. Use that as motivation. They had you up in the stands, and now you don't win 21st.
There you go.
Hey, but you know what? I like this pick. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? He's a really solid shooter. You know what I'm saying? I really like this for them though. He's a guy who can possibly, high motor, guy who could possibly, you know what I'm saying, come off the bench and really just kind of let it fly for them. Kind of in that Bones Highland, you know, kind of mold, you know, a guy who can come off the bench and just really be a spark for them. So I do like this pick. And then, you know, hypothetically, you know, Jamal Murray, let's say he's still struggling coming back or whatever. This is a guy who they can use to kind of spread the floor for Jokic to work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I like Denver squad too, Ira. I like Denver squad. I've been talking about Denver. I thought Denver, if they could have came back healthy, I thought they could have been like a Western Conference matchup between the Warriors. Because I picked the Warriors. I picked the Warriors in it all.
You saw how the Warriors struggle with them.
Kenny loves bringing up this first round series versus Golden State and Denver, and I can't even be mad at him. But it's like you make a good point.
I mean, either Golden State was playing down to the competition, or Jokic.
Denver,
or Jokic is just
that good.
Yeah, he's just that damn good.
Word. We got Memphis in. So is this the trade that is this what they talking about? So they might be trading this one to Minnesota?
Maybe.
I like Memphis's team. I can't even really. I mean, I think this might be one of the positions where they just go
best player.
They just go best player available.
Because they don't have very many needs.
They don't. You know what I'm saying? They got a great point guard. They got some shooting. You know what I'm saying? They got Steven Adams down there, kind of man in the paint. Even in Jaren Jackson Jr., they got a stretch four who can. They got a four who can kind of stretch out and, you know, shoot the three. So
okay, so this is the trade. It is so Memphis get Jake
LaRavia. Okay,
yeah, LaRavia
from Georgia Tech. Okay, or Wake Forest. Sorry, yeah.
Minnesota gets 2.
So whoever Memphis gets here, he's going to Minnesota.
They get the 22nd and 29th.
And they'll get the 29th pick. Okay.
Yep. So Minnesota gets 2 first rounders.
You talked to okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they go for a backup point guard and Ty Washington. You talked about Kennedy Chandler as well. Maybe they go there.
I'm more of a Kennedy Chandler type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tata. He reminds me a little bit of
Oh, okay. Bo makes a great point here. You know, maybe they take a chance and stash the Jokic kid.
Yeah, Nikola
Jovic, yeah.
Jovic, yeah.
Oh, they took Walker Kessler.
Oh, I think did you say that earlier?
I don't know. I think we were talking about that and the possibility because they had Steven Adams, so
yeah,
we talking about that and a possibility. But I guess I don't dislike the pick. Like I said, he's a
banger.
He is a banger. You know what I'm saying? He will, like as you can see, he led Division I in blocks. You know what I'm saying? So he averaged almost like 4 blocks a game. You know, so man. And he can Kessler can stretch the floor a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? If you leave him open, he will take that 3 on you.
Okay, that's good then.
They just said he averages 6.5 blocks per 36 minutes. This kid is the definition of a rim protector.
Yep. 155 blocks. He led D1. He led the D1.
Yeah.
He led the country. With total blocks. And he's a lob threat. He presents a lob threat for Memphis. So you know, you have
like I said, he does.
Rim protector. You have a legit rim protector in Memphis now.
Yeah, they do. And that's no slight against Steven Adams, because I like Steven Adams, you know what I'm saying? But I don't dislike the pick. That's a solid pick. So Zay, is it anybody that you're surprised about that dropped? That is dropping right now?
Not surprised, but maybe Jaden Hardy. I mean, a guy that had some upside but didn't play as well in the G League with Team McKnight. You know, that he's definitely a name that comes to mind. I would say that's about it. I mean, I thought maybe Malachi Brandon, maybe
I thought he dropped a little farther than
Memphis is very scary, bro.
Yeah,
Memphis is very scary.
We got Philly on the clock, and I'll tell you another guy that I think dropped a little farther than I assumed, and he still hasn't been picked yet. But Ty Washington out of Kentucky, he dropped a little farther than I kind of expected. Go ahead, Kenny. What you say?
No, I was just gonna say I thought he was gonna sneak into like the top 15, top 18.
I was gonna say I thought he was a fringe lottery pick. It no later than that 15 or 20 range. So
really.
Yeah, so
I kind of had him in this 20, but from like 19 to 25.
I mean, he's still like we at 23 now, and Philly's at 23. So I still see him as a first rounder. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get drafted in the first round.
He reminds me a lot of Emmanuel Quickly.
Okay, with the Knicks. And we were talking about the Knicks earlier. I forgot they still had Emmanuel Quickly.
They got Quickly, yeah.
Kind of a spark guy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what was talking about? Oh man, okay. So Philly is trading this pick to Memphis. So Memphis is stacking up on these little picks, huh? At the end of the first round. I mean, I guess there's a few kind of point guards still left out there, because we talked about Ty Washington. Trevor Keels is still there from Duke.
Hold up, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Let's see. Memphis traded Milton. That's a good pickup for the 76ers.
And I think I'm trying to think. I believe Shake Milton was with the Sixers before. Let's see who we got here from Adam Silver. Okay, so let me say this. So they just took David Roddy from Colorado State. Let me say this to you. First of all,
break him down to me.
Let me hold on, and this is what I'm going to break down to you. This is such a surprise to me that I have nothing on this guy.
I was about to say.
I have absolutely nothing on this guy.
Nothing.
Like nothing on this guy. This is a name that I in and I looked at 1,000,001 mock drafts. This is a name that I
never seen
have.
him. He's not even on the top.
He's not even at the draft. He's not like this is a guy I had nothing about. So I mean that was a surprise to me. And that pick was getting traded to Memphis. So the kid there from Colorado State, he's going to Memphis. So I mean, yeah, I had nothing on him. So moving on.
He's both said tough nose guard that can space the floor. Tough dude.
Okay. I don't know if he was talking about I'm trying to figure out, is he talking about Shake Milton or the guy that just went from Colorado State? Who you talking about, Bo? Grant Williams, Jared Sullinger had a child. Not Jared Sullinger. Not Ohio State Jared Sullinger. But so we got Milwaukee on the clock here. Milwaukee is another team that,
it's pretty complete.
When they're healthy, they're gonna make a run. I mean, they're a team that's gonna go maybe best player available.
I think they can go guard though,
like point or shooting guard, like a
shooting guard. They just
another wing.
Maybe it's another wing. Maybe maybe yeah, the kid from Colorado State, the tough nose, was in regard to Melton.
Oh yeah. I like Shake Melton too, and he's a guy that can come off the bench. He's kind of instant offense off the bench too. Like I said, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Shake Melton was playing for Philly once before, so he's really familiar with the system, really familiar with the city and everything. But yeah, I'm sorry. What was you saying, Kenny?
No, I'm saying maybe they can, maybe they add in a wing. Maybe they take a tie or you got
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and this is Milwaukee. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Maybe they take
Blake Wesley.
Okay, that's an option. Mm-hmm. Or they take Marjon Beauchamp, who's another guy from the D-League Ignite team. So maybe they take him as well. Because I agree with you, Kenny. Like I think Milwaukee can possibly, take a wing here. So yeah, maybe either Wesley or Marjon Beauchamp.
Isaiah, who you think Milwaukee takes?
I think they need a little bit more shooting. I'm gonna say Bryce McCowens from Nebraska.
I had him as I see his name. I had him as a second rounder. Go ahead.
I mean, might be a bit of a reach, but I think looking at Middleton's injury, what happened last year, and them just needing a spark a little bit, they lack, like Milwaukee on the perimeter. Though Giannis is very athletic, they lack athleticism on the perimeter. You look at some of their perimeter guys; they're a bit older, or not just the most athletic guys. They got Wesley Matthews, a little older. You look at Grayson Allen. They had the other kid, the other white guy. But
Connaughton, Pat Connaughton. Yeah.
They got hurt.
They lack a little bit of athleticism, and those guys.
You're right, they do. Yeah,
they didn't particularly shoot the ball well. So I think with Bryce, you're getting a little bit more athletic and younger on the wing. You're not gonna play huge minutes. You're not gonna play huge minutes, but I think he's a pretty good shooter and a good enough finisher inside with his athleticism.
So while we got some time here, Milwaukee, okay, their pick is in, but I'm gonna kind of switch it up here. So Isaiah, you can start, and then Kenny, if you want to answer, you can go right behind them. As things stand right now, all teams healthy, all teams complete. Who would be your early favorites in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference?
Without a due respect, it would have to be Golden State Warriors.
I called it. Milwaukee took Marjon Beauchamp from the G League Ignite.
Oh wow. Okay. He's also another good spot. That's a good player too.
Yeah, and they won't be expecting much from him right now. Look at him, the kid's emotional. I love to see these kids get emotional, man, because it's a tough, long, hard journey, man. I love to see that,
especially
man.
when you wait this long.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you wait that long. Yeah,
but with all due, you would have to give like the Warriors, and I honestly do. I do think the Warriors will come back. They pay the luxury tax, but I think you would the favorites, and it's not by much. But the favorites would be Golden State out west. You look at what they're bringing back, and then the young guys that they have coming off the bench, like the Moses Moody's, the Kumingas, those guys are only going to get better.
Real interesting, and I have to ask this. So, and then Kenny, we're gonna get to you. I gotta ask this. So Kevon Looney is a free agent. By all reports, somebody is gonna overpay him. Do you think Golden State goes out of their way to match it to keep him? And I ask that because let's remember that they still got James Wiseman in the wings. So do you think they go out of their way to keep him, or do you think he leaves and takes his money?
He probably leaves and takes his money. They're gonna probably and Golden State probably encourage him to do it. Like, hey kid, you got rings. You didn't done a lot of winning.
Unless he wants to continue winning. I mean,
unless you want to continue winning and take significantly less,
it's a fair shake.
But it's like
it is, Kenny. Yeah,
you got your rings. You've won a lot. You've been a part of something very special. Orlando or some other team, they're gonna overpay. Go get your money. I think Golden State would encourage that. And then out east, I would have Milwaukee as the favorite.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Kenny, what about you, man? Do you and I know it's early, but just right now, if you were to give your favorites as far as Eastern and Western Conference, who do you think you'd have?
Well, on the West, as much as I want to say Golden State, I don't feel like, even though I feel like they're a well-constructed roster, I don't feel like they're significantly better than everyone else. I think that they were just able to manage a lot better, and they got healthy.
Little championship pedigree.
They got the championship pedigree, and they managed and got their players healthy. Obviously, they've been doing this for a while, but they understood how to get their players healthy for the playoffs this year. But I look at a team like, I hate to say it, I look at a team like fully healthy. 1A Golden State, 1B Dallas. He's so biased.
Bo gonna throw his guys out there, boy.
I'll be honest. I think this could be the year where we see Denver make that jump. If they can finally stay healthy, and I think Jamal Murray needed that year off. As opposed to rushing and trying to get him back. And if Michael Porter Jr. can come in and he can stay healthy, I think that, Denver has a pretty complete roster. I think I could really see Denver making a jump, and obviously Jokic back-to-back MVP.
Do you think Jokic? Do you think he can be the best player on a championship team?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
I do. You and Kenny knows how I feel about him, man. And I know Embiid's out there. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I think Nikola Jokic is the best big man in the league. And I know Embiid's out there. I know Embiid's a load. And week to week, he makes me second guess that. But Nikola Jokic, man, what the kid can score, he can shoot, he can. I said this too, and I had some pushback on this. Nikola Jokic is the best passing big man in NBA history. Like, we haven't, and granted, we've seen bigs who can pass the ball, but not in the manner that Jokic does. Like, Jokic is literally their point center. Like, Jokic gets check this out. Like, I've never seen this, right? Okay, Jokic is their center. He's their leading rebounder, scorer, whatever. Assist guy, whatever. There are instances where Denver, like, say Aaron Gordon or get the rebound, or Morris, or one of those guys, Barton. There are instances where other guys will get the rebound and they will outlet the ball to Jokic, so Jokic can run the play or run the offense or run the break. We have never seen that with any big in history. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say what he does as a passer, we've never seen that. We have never seen that.
This is my thing with Nikola Jokic. I think he's really talented. I think he's special. Nikola Jokic, I don't know, and this is just today's bad NBA. It is nothing against him, but I don't know if a center being your best player is necessarily the recipe for getting to the championship or winning championships. And I think also Nikola Jokic in his maintenance of his body, I'm not sure if he's ready for a deep playoff run. I still question that. I still question that.
Well, I think he's made significant strides in getting his body together. I mean, I think it's funny that you say that because I think he's the healthiest. He's the healthiest as in shape as he's been in his entire career. Because he's a fat boy when he came in the NBA.
Yeah,
but I mean, you're right. I know some San Antonio what?
They just took Blake Wesley out of Notre Dame.
Doesn't he just seem like a San Antonio player?
I was just gonna say I kind of like that pick. You know what I'm saying? Going from one really disciplined program to another really solid disciplined organization in the San Antonio Spurs. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy who can, you know, kind of be an explosive scorer a little bit. I like the pick. I like the pick. Like we talked about earlier though, San Antonio could really use some shooters. You know what I'm saying? But I don't dislike the pick. And then now, so looking at their picks, and ESPN just put them up. They took Sochan 9, Malachi Branham, and then Blake Wesley. I think all of those are guys that are good for their culture.
Yeah.
So I do like what San Antonio has done here in this draft. You know, they went defense and got then they got a guy who can kind of be a spot up shooter, and they got a guy who can be kind of a fringe scorer. All three guys from great programs. So yeah, I like what San Antonio is doing in this draft. Dallas, Bo Dallas done traded they pick to Houston, huh? Gots to be more careful.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this before I head out because I got to prepare for the breakdown tomorrow.
Do your thing, bro.
So obviously I got Denver coming out of the West, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my money on it. And I'm gonna tell you this: if Miami can secure a real bona fide score, watch the hell out.
Okay,
they could
like Bradley Beal, who we was talking about earlier.
And that's why I'm tripping. I'm like, Travis, you don't think you're talking about Jimmy Butler would be the number one over Brad? To me, it would be, and I know it's a little different. It would be like when Kawhi Leonard went to Toronto, and that foundation was already built. He wasn't really the guy because I guess it's funny because Kyle Lowry is in Miami as well. But Kyle Lowry was like,
don't get me started.
He was the emotional lightning rod for the Toronto Raptors. And
but Kawhi was clearly the best player.
No, he was. But here's the thing: Kawhi, when he went to Toronto, he didn't need to be a leader for them.
Right.
All he had to do was go there and get buckets.
Right.
And I think that Miami can create that same type of situation for Bradley Beal. Hey, you don't gotta lead guys. Like we'll hold people. We got Jimmy to hold people accountable. We got Kyle Lowry's gonna go out there and run around and do dirty work and take charges. All you got to do is get buckets, and I think it could work.
I think that if they were to get a Bradley Beal, obviously I think it would work. Obviously, Jay. Now this is what I think he was saying, and Jimmy Butler, I think down the stretch of games,
will be the closer.
He would be their closer, but I think Bradley Beal would be that scorer, and I think they could use him. You know what I'm saying? I think he would be that guy that put the ball in his hands, and he's gonna go to work because crazy enough, especially in the regular season, like Jimmy Butler, he's not the guy in the postseason that we see in the regular season. He's never that aggressive. He does. He's never that aggressive of a guy. So, I mean, I think Bradley Beal would do wonders for them. Like I said earlier, I think Tyler Herro would probably have to be in a package deal for him, you know. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind that move, you know what I'm saying? Them making that move to get a Bradley Beal. And I agree. I think that might just put them right there at the top of the Eastern Conference. So Dallas just took Wendell Moore Jr. out of Duke. So that would be 1, 2, 3, the fourth player taken from Duke in the first round. And then and I think this pick is going to Houston. So he's going to Houston. Another spot up and shoot type of guy. I mean, he's a halfway decent passer, but I wouldn't consider him like necessarily a playmaker. He's definitely not a point guard. I think he's a legit just a shooting guard, a catch and shoot guy. He shoots the ball pretty well. So yeah, and Kenny had to go, guys. So shout out to Kenny. Definitely appreciate him. But yeah, I think he's he's definitely just a catch and shoot guy, and he makes the fourth guy drafted out of Duke in the first round.
I agree. I like, man, you know, Houston has had a really, really good draft, and it all started with the Jabari Smith pick. Mm-hmm. I didn't think
so far that's the best pick of the draft, and
me too.
Houston has to be ecstatic that he fell to them, because coming into today or tonight, I think on probably about 90% of guys, everyone's big board, I think that Jabari Smith was probably one. So for him to fall to 3 to Houston, for him to fall to 3 to Houston, I think they have to be ecstatic about that.
Absolutely. And I thought Houston had the easy job. I thought Houston, like, because obviously a lot of people are going to pay attention to Orlando, and a lot of people are going to pay attention to OKC, the first two picks. And I thought Houston had the easiest job of just going with whoever's left.
Mm-hmm.
You take whoever's left. So I really like what Houston did. I'm a huge Jabari Smith fan. I don't like the Kevin Durant comparisons.
I don't either. I don't think
he's the shot creator.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he has the handle.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's that lethal. Now I do think he is a really good shooter, and as I continue to say, I think he's a two-way Rashard Lewis, where he's going to be able to take apart of mismatches when he got bigs or smalls on him. And really going to just be a nightmare matchup. I like the pick for Jabari Smith. I thought that was the best pick of the night.
So right, and I agree. I think thus far, and there's been a few solid picks, but thus far, I think that was the one for me. We got Miami here at 27, and I'm gonna say this, man. I've been talking about him all night, and he's falling. They had some injury issues with Kyle Lowry. Mm-hmm. I know they kind of slipped Troy Vincent in at that point guard position, and he's done a really solid job. I don't know, man. And okay, the two guys we've talked about, I've been talking about Ty Washington. You've been talking about Kennedy Chandler. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of those guys go off the board here, or maybe even a Trevor Keels. You know, I think the two guys that we mentioned, in my eyes, the two guys that we've mentioned are ahead of Trevor Keels. You know what I'm saying, as far as point guards. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna take a wild stab here. I'm gonna say they go either Ty Washington or Kennedy Chandler. I think one of our guys get off the board here.
I agree. I think Miami, they definitely saw a lack of scoring punch, and just ball handling. Mm-hmm. Once Kyle Lowry went down, and he's a bit older anyway. He's like,
and I've never been a Kyle Lowry guy. Let me just say
really.
And crazy enough, I'll say this, and I tell people this. Crazy enough, Kyle Lowry is going to get into the Hall of Fame. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. If you go and Google his numbers and his accolades, and then you Google and you look at some of these other guys who have gotten in, he's gonna get in.
You're right.
He's going, and it's crazy to say that because I've never been a big Kyle Lowry guy, but he's gonna get in.
I'm not. He's definitely like, he doesn't strike you as a Hall of Fame talent, but I definitely agree with you. One of our guys are gonna get picked off the board,
and I'm gonna give another dark horse for this pick. EJ Liddell out of Ohio State is still on the board as well. And he's kind of I view him, he's definitely a power forward. I view him as almost kind of a stretch forward. He's a little smaller. I think he's about 6'7". He's a little smaller for that power forward position.
Yeah.
But I could see EJ Liddell going here, but gun to my head, I say one of our guys are going here, man.
Yeah.
And their pick is in. Yeah, we'll see what they're gonna do here. They just showed Jaden Hardy, who happens to be there at the draft, and he still hasn't been taken yet. So,
yeah, interesting. I was just looking at the draft, the last couple of teams, and I'm wondering, like, could he be a fit for one of those teams? And I'm not really sure, because after this Heat pick, you have the Warriors, you have Memphis, and then lastly you have Denver. And that Memphis pick once again is the Minnesota pick. So,
Bo, don't say who it is now, because you ahead of us now. He talking about with the steal of the draft.
Oh, could he be possibly talking about Jaden Hardy?
Possibly. And they maybe they kind of stash him or whatever. Yeah. Bo, don't give it away now. Let us see it now. They finna announce the pick now. I tell you what, boy, it ain't nothing like seeing and I'm a married man. Let me say this first. Shout out to Bay. Bay, if you watching, I love you. Okay. Shout out to Bay. But it ain't nothing like seeing a beautiful black woman narrating this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, he done gave it away. Is Nikola Jokic? He done gave it away. Look at God dog it, Bo. Bowden gave it away. Bowden gave you jerk you. But you know what? This is cool though. Now I don't see him touching the floor this year.
No.
I don't see him touching the floor this year. But he's a kid that they can kind of stash. Possibly even let him stay over there and play another year before he comes over. But kid with a lot of talent, you know what I'm saying? He went right about in the draft, right about in the area that I thought he would.
Late first round.
Yeah, a late first rounder, man. He's very versatile, you know what I'm saying? He's really solid at handling the ball. He's a fairly decent shooter. Crazy. You know what trips me out is that he about got the same name as the Joker. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's gonna be real crazy with him in the league. It's gonna be like, bro, who you talking about, bro?
Yeah,
bro, Jokic with Denver, bro. Who you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But I don't dislike the pick. This is a solid pick. Got it there kind of stash away. You know, look at that, the same name, Nikola Jokic, the same name. And crazy enough, if I'm not mistaken,
they're from the same country.
They're from the same country. And if I'm not mistaken, you know, Nikola Jokic, the Joker for Denver, he was a second-round draft pick.
Yeah.
And he was one of I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm trying to think of a few guys on the top of my head, but he may and you could throw Draymond Green in there, you could throw Michael Redd in there from my real NBA guys, but Jokic might be arguably one of the best, if not the best, second-round pick ever.
Maybe. I would have to look deeply and closer, but yeah, maybe.
I do too. Yeah, I might have to do a little research on that, but yeah, I might have to look deep.
But
All
that's not a bad take.
No.
It'll be hard to top back-to-back MVPs.
Jokic is a stud, man. Right, hard to top back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to kind of top that.
As we inching closer to the end of this first round, man, we got hold on, let me check here. I know we got Golden State up next, and then we got Memphis and I think OKC.
So Memphis, yes, they'll make the pick, but it'll go to Minnesota ultimately.
Okay, so Memphis 29th pick will go to Minnesota, and then OKC got the last pick in the first round.
Yes.
Bro, did you see any of the Golden State Warriors parade, man? Any of their
I did see some highlights of it. I did.
Man, had me dead, bro.
I seen some of it. Clay was drunk as a skunk.
He was bad.
Yeah, I seen some highlights. I definitely seen like some clips floating around and so forth for their parade, and I've definitely seen it. All of them kind of the same, where like you got a bunch of drunk players, and they, the city is loving it and so forth. So it's always kind of good to see, right after the championship. I'm glad they do it like literally right after they win it too. They don't waste no time.
So, Bo, who is Golden State gonna find this year? I know we were talking earlier about Golden State and them possibly losing Looney, but they'll probably, Wiseman hopefully will probably come right on in and replace him. Hold on, let me check out my list here. I'm trying to see who's really still available for him here. I mean, Golden State is a team where, they can just go, best player available, they're a ready-made team. They're gonna come right back and
whoever they draft, the kid probably won't see much time
because they have such and they got Draymond Green at the draft headquarters. This is funny, boy. But I mean, they're a ready-made team, and then crazy enough, they like we said, they still got guys who are going to slip in. You know what I'm saying? Kuminga is going to become more and more of a factor and more of an important piece for them. James Wiseman is still going to come back. Moses Moody still going to be there. Jordan Poole is still young. You know what I'm saying? So
Wiggins is still young.
Yeah. Oh, here's the pick right now. Let's see who they're going with. Wow. Talking about a project.
Oh, wow.
Talking about a project. Okay, so the Golden State Warriors just took Patrick Baldwin Jr. out of Milwaukee.
Yep.
Now, a little bit about this kid. So he was a top 3 or 4 recruit in the class of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up going to the University of Milwaukee because, if I'm not mistaken, his dad or his uncle, one of them, coached there.
Yeah.
And so he ended up going there. He was one of the best players, coming out of high school, but he didn't, have the best year there for Milwaukee. Most mock drafts had him going somewhere middle of the pack, second round.
Wow.
Now let me say this though. With that being said, Patrick Baldwin is a kid. I believe he's about 6'8", 6'9". He is a very, very, very talented individual. We talked about, I'll tell you this, and I'll give him a player comp, and it's a guy that got taken earlier in the draft. He has a little bit of Paolo Banchero in him.
Ah, okay.
He has a little bit of that in him. Now, obviously, he didn't play extremely well. He didn't have the best year there in Milwaukee, and they lost games or whatnot. So his stock kind of fell in the draft. But if you're looking for kind of a player comparison, his game is very similar to Paolo Banchero from the draft. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're both Seattle guys, or they both come from Washington State. So yeah, man, I think this is a very interesting pick for them. And then, like I said, Golden State, they're a ready-made team.
They're a factory.
They can go, they can stash him and whatever, and however he develops. You know, it pays them no never mind, does them no difference. So, I mean, that's a decent pick for them, and it's a decent pick for Patrick Baldwin going into a situation where there's no pressure on him, and he can just develop at the rate that he needs to,
with no pressure at all.
With no pressure at all. Any snipers left in the draft? I don't know about snipers.
Yeah,
trying to look at my board here. I don't know about any snipers left, Bo. I mean,
there's some like decent guards left that I think could still be taken off. Our two guys that have not been drafted yet.
Yeah, I think and I'm really surprised. Like I can't lie.
Yeah.
Between Chandler and Ty Washington and EJ Liddell, I'm really surprised that all three of those guys are still on the board. But all that means to me is that it's going to be some steals in the second round.
Yeah.
A lot of teams in the second round are going to get first round talents. And that's not to knock some of the, I mean, okay, there's been some questionable picks in the first round, but a lot of teams in the second round are going to get some first round talents. You know, even Max Christie, who's the son to Doug Christie, who played with the Sacramento Kings all that time. Yes. I mean, it's
I was going so since we're nearing the end of the first round, what pick stood out to you as like a reach?
Hold on, let me.
I'll tell you mine's after you tell me yours, because we may have the same.
Go ahead. Let me get back through my draft here. See who went. Went where.
4. Keegan Murray.
You think that was a reach for Sacramento? I feel like that was I feel like in that position that was the best pick for them. Like who do they go? Do they go Jade? This is what I say. If they go Jaden Ivey there, then they're in the same situation that they were in last year when they traded Tyrese Halliburton. Their guard heavy, they got too many guards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I had Jaden Ivey higher on my board. I think he was, the better player, but I think as far as the fit, I think they had to go Keegan Murray.
Okay, let me look at this. Let me look at the board.
Let's see. Rockets got 20. What pick is this? This is 20. Okay, so whoever Memphis is picking here is going to go to Houston. They also got Boban. Who's Memphis going with here?
Okay, Ty Washington. Ty Washington to Memphis.
Okay. So, and then he's going to go to Houston. All right. I like it. Okay, so I like this because, they had Kevin Porter Jr. as kind of like their playmaker or whatever. And I feel like they could use a kind of a more prototypical point guard. So I think this is a good spot for him.
I was gonna say the difference because Jalen Green, he got off to a rough start. The first couple of months, like the first 2 months of the season,
he did.
He got up to a bit of a rough start, and he had some highs, but he had some lows too. And I thought one of the real interesting things that I thought Houston was really trying was him and Porter in the backcourt. And Green, we know he's instant offense and a scorer. And with Kevin Porter at the point guard role, I didn't necessarily he's not really a guy that's going to play make and get guys and make sure guys are in the right spot.
Right.
He's looking for his shot too. So I think a guy like Kennedy Chandler or a guy like Ty Washington makes a lot of sense for a team like Houston, a young team like Houston. I really do think it makes a lot of sense. So I like this pick. Like your guy was Tata. I like Kennedy Chandler, but
I do too.
Either pick really serves its purpose for Houston in terms of what they need at the point guard role.
So as far as like the top 10 or even the lottery, I don't think there was too much of a reach for either team. I mean, even with the Knicks, they took Ousmane Dieng at 11, but they ended up trading him to OKC.
Right.
So my reach is gonna come a lot later in the draft. And for me, it's probably the Sixers at 23 taking David Roddy, because I think you had hopped off for a second, but I was telling Kenny, I know absolutely nothing about David Roddy out of Colorado State. And I am I'm a college basketball guy. I love college basketball. There are instances where I probably watch college ball more than I watch the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew absolutely nothing about this kid.
Mm.
So as far as reaches, that was my reach. With the rest of these picks, I mean, I kind of understand. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll give you another one. At 12, OKC took Jalen Williams, and I just thought there were better wings available.
Oh yeah,
I think even behind him, Agbaji was there. Malachi
AJ
Branham
Griffin
was there. Yeah, I just think, AJ Griffin was there. I just think there were better wings available, but they took that might be my reach right there. I just think there were much better wings available, but they ended up taking them there. So that would probably be my reach. I think we both agreed that probably the best pick that we both think in this draft was probably Jabari Smith falling to Houston, man. That's just
a steal.
It is, man. I mean, Houston has to be just
thrilled.
They have to be, man. For him to, once again, I think before tonight, he was everybody's consensus number one pick. Okay, and this is OKC. Is this 30 right here?
Yep. Peyton Watson.
Okay, they took the kid from UCLA. Another kid who I didn't have him. So he snuck into the first round. I had him as a second round. I thought he was drafted, but I had him as a second rounder. So he snuck into the first round. Okay, so that pick there completes the first round. And I mean, I don't dislike the pick. You know what I'm saying? So what is that, like the fourth pick for OKC? They had a lot of picks.
It's the OKC
in the first round alone. The second round is still going to go. They had a lot of picks in the first round alone. All right. So that kind of wraps up the first round.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. So just a few picks that I loved. Obviously, you and I both talked about. Love the pick with Jabari Smith going to the Rockets. For me, I did like Benedict Mathurin going to the Pacers at 6. Like I said, even if they choose, and I hear Malcolm Brogdon is on the trade block, but even if they choose to keep him, the possibility of having Brogdon and Tyrese Halliburton in the backcourt, and then
Benedict
Mathurin maybe playing a 3, and then they still got Miles Turner, maybe Duarte, because I believe Duarte is about 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
So they can maybe play him as a stretch four in a smaller lineup, and then still having Miles Turner there at the 5 as a big and a rim protector because he can block shots, and he can kind of stretch the floor a little bit. So I did kind of like that pick there. I know you don't like him. I know this isn't your guy. But I like Dyson Daniels going to New Orleans. Like I said, I just think there's no pressure on him. I think he can be a playmaker for him. And then on the opposite end, I think he can be a really, really good defender for them. So I definitely like that pick there. Outside of Jabari Smith to Houston, who's another pick? What's another pick that you really liked?
I like Johnny Davis. Who did he go to?
to the Wizards.
Yeah, I like Johnny Davis to Washington. He averaged 20 a game at Wisconsin.
Mhm.
I thought, like I said, I like his game. He reminded me a little bit of Devin Harris. I think that's the comp I gave him, Devin Harris. Not necessarily, he's a capable 3-point shooter, not necessarily lethal or a knockdown guy, but he's a capable 3-point shooter, really a 3-level scorer who can facilitate. So in the event that Bradley Beal does opt in Supermax, or he takes the Supermax in Washington, I think that's a good little running partner with Johnny Day. I think that's a really good, I like that pick from Washington, surprisingly. Also, I like what Detroit did with Jaden Harvey. Jaden Ivey. I'm sorry,
Jaden Ivey. Yeah.
Jaden Ivey. I like what they did with him. Like I said, I think the comps of John Morant. People. I'm not too huge on it. Like I said, I think he's more of a 2 than a 1. He's about 6'3", 6'4". But I like the pairing of him or Cade and him with Sadiq Bey and potentially a big. And
they got Isaiah Stewart. Maybe they go after
Aiden,
my boy from Phoenix.
Yeah, maybe they go out there, and they probably will. And I think honestly, if they throw the bag at him, I think Aiden will probably go there, and I think that'll be their core, and it's a pretty decent core that Detroit is building. So I like the pick that Ivy, the Ivy pick for the Pistons. I just thought Indiana, it would have made a little bit more sense since they're shopping, but I get it. Ivy was definitely the better prospect than Benedict Mathurin.
And then I know you asked me. I'm gonna ask this question to you before we get up out of here. Any pick that was a little questionable, that was a little bit of a reach for you?
I'm not gonna say a reach, but I thought Shadon Sharp. I'm gonna go to Shadon Sharp with
Portland. Yeah.
I like his potential. I like what he can develop and come and I like what he can grow into. I like the idea of him.
I do too. But I think for that team, they need somebody that can maybe help him now.
Yeah. But I think he's a couple years down the line. And with Portland, it has to be how Dame time, it has to be winning time, where you got to start laying the foundation and getting pieces that can help you win automatically right now. But I like I said, I like Shadon Sharp as a prospect. It's just a mere fact. I don't know if the timing in Portland is necessarily. I don't know. I don't think they needed a guy with his type of raw abilities. I don't know if he really serves them what they really need at this moment. And then you kind of talked about it, and I know I hinted at it, but Dyson Daniels. I'm just like I said, I'm a really regret.
That's just not your guy.
If he turns out to be a pretty good player, I'm a really regret this. But his skill, and it's not I get it. I think he's a pretty good playmaker. I think he's a facilitator at heart. But I think in today's game, as a guard and a perimeter player, you are much more limited. For you to be offensively limited and not being able to be a threat scoring the basketball, it poses a lot of problems. And I'm looking at the foundation right now in New Orleans, where Zion, Jackson Hayes, there's going to be, the paint is going to be clogged.
It is, but I guess that's why I think he'll be a solid fit, though, because he's not. I don't think he'll be looked at to be an offensive threat. I think they'll just look at him to be a facilitator and a defender on the opposite end.
And that's the thing. You can be Ags. It's one thing to be Ags to facilitate and play make, but you have the ability to score. He doesn't have the ability to shot create and get his own if he has to. So granted, he's not being asked to, But what happens when the floor shrinks and the defense takes away certain options, and he's going to be forced to put the ball on the deck and in some shape or form create.
I get you. Yeah, I get you.
Like I said, I think there's some things that he really does that New Orleans need. Mm-hmm. I get it. But I think as a guard and a perimeter player in today's game, not having the ability to score the basketball is a big problem, especially from the perimeter.
I get it. And so we got the second round that started, and we gonna go and get up out of here. I just a few guys that are still left on the board that I'm surprised about. I thought EJ Liddell would be a first rounder. As we talked about, I thought Jaden Hardy would be a first rounder. And I think it really sucks because Jaden Hardy is actually there at the draft, and now we're getting into the first pick of the second round, and he's still there. So, just a couple guys to look out for as far as second rounders. And he still hasn't went. The first pick in the second round was actually Andrew Nembhard, the guard from Gonzaga. Wow. So yeah, just a couple guys. EJ Liddell and Jaden Hardy. I'm gonna say those are a couple guys to maybe look out for guys that are still watching in the second round to possibly go in the second round, who I feel like were first round talents. So yeah, man. But yeah, that's it for us, man. Like I said, we wanted to go ahead and get through the first round, man. I think this is a great night, great first rounder. Great first round. Good luck to all the guys who went in the first round. Peace and blessings to them, and the best to them and their families, and hopefully they can all, go and be the best players that they can be. The guys who we thought would be successful in their situations, hopefully they can be successful. The guys we thought were a bit of a push or a bit of a stretch, hopefully they can prove us wrong. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, much love and blessings to everybody who got drafted tonight. Definitely appreciate everybody who tuned in to us tonight. Hey, man, I'm tripping because Paolo Banchero got this loud purple suit on, bro. Yeah. I am tripping, bro. Yeah. Like, he got this like the Crayola purple, like the Prince purple, bro.
Yeah, Prince purple, yeah.
On a real bad. But hey, number one pick in the draft, let him do what he do, man. Really happy for these guys. Really, really happy to see so many young athletes and young people reach their dreams. And yeah, man, that's it, man. Like I said, the NBA draft is still on. The second round is still going right now. So everybody can definitely go ahead and tune in and see where some of these guys go and just kind of remember some of these names, because there's been a slew of successful and even all-star and superstar guys in the second round. We mentioned Jokic. We mentioned Draymond Green. Both of those were second-round guys. You know what I'm saying? So definitely go ahead and continue to tune in and pay attention. And yeah, Zay, I want to go ahead and give you a chance to go ahead and shout yourself out, shout your podcast out, and anything that you got going on. So go ahead, man, give yourself a shout out.
As I always say, I have my own sports podcast that I do a couple times a week. Release 2 episodes. I try to release 2 episodes a week. But yeah, I do it consistently. I know it's going to start to ramp up as we in a kind of a rough spot with no sports kinda. And a lot of free agency within the NBA, a lot of free agency rumors, but we're getting closer and closer to football season, which would be very, very entertaining and exciting. So you guys can check me out on the Isaiah Kid podcast. Literally, you can find it literally on any podcast platform, any DSP, any streaming service you use to listen to your podcast. You can listen to my podcast called the Isaiah Kid Podcast, and I'm the host of it.
Once again, guys, that's the Isaiah Kid Podcast.
Yes,
go ahead and chime in, man. It's a great listen. Hey, man, we all finna be, getting to a little period here, man, because the NBA is done, the draft is done, and then we still got, a little while to go before we get to the any football, even collegiate football. You know what I'm saying? We still got a little while before we get to that. So, I know me and Kenny, man, we're gonna have to come up with some and obviously me, Kenny, and you. I'm gonna say that because dead ass, you like the third host on this joint. Me, Kenny, and you. We're gonna really have to try to come up with some topics and be creative, and we gonna really have to get into some debate, some real debate and back and forth, and some real banter like we do on Saturdays. Speaking of Saturdays, guys, we still got the Rooted in Sports community on Twitter Spaces. We do that every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah.
Once again, that's Rooted in Sports community, and that's on Twitter Spaces. So just follow us on Rooted in Sports on Twitter. And then, Twitter Spaces, we do that every Saturday. There's a slew of guys that get in. It's growing. It seems like by the week it's growing, and it's a really great opportunity just for the casual sports fan to get in and truly get in on some debate, because everybody gets in. Everybody puts their two cents in. It gets heated at times. So, yeah, man, definitely get in there. Obviously, we got the Rooted in Sports podcast here. Please subscribe to us on Instagram at Rooted in Sports and on YouTube at Rooted in Sports. Just that simple. Subscribe to my boy Kenny King Tiberius. He got the Break Room Breakdown, so definitely subscribe to that Break Room Breakdown podcast on YouTube. And yeah, man. He had to dip out a little early, but Ron Herod Jr. Herod Jr. Man, I'm gonna call him a journalist. He is a phenomenal journalist. He writes really phenomenal articles. You know what I'm saying? I've come to read, of late, I've read at least 2 or 3 of his articles of late. He's definitely been covering the draft, and he's a great guy. Definitely appreciate him for coming on tonight. Definitely appreciate Travis for coming on tonight. Travis Reed. If you're on Instagram, just go ahead and put that name in, Travis Reed. He also has his own podcast as well. He's a former UCLA basketball player. He played there with numerous NBA guys while he was at UCLA. And then, as he mentioned, he did play professional ball overseas for a bunch of years. So we're talking about a professional player who's played on a high level, who definitely knows the game. So once again, his name was Travis Reed. Go ahead and look him up on Instagram, follow him. And he also has a podcast as well. And yeah, that's it, man. As far as Rooted in Sports, we will see you guys on Monday. Once again, Mr. Kit, definitely appreciate you. Much love to you, brother. And for everybody that's still tuning in, man, go ahead and watch this second round of this draft, man, because that's where you'll find out some of the steals in the draft, man. And that's it, man. Much love. God bless. And we're gonna get up out this jam.
Peace.